I wish I had my history book with me. Is it running?
It's buffer and loading, whatever.
Have I got 4G?
Yeah.
Alright, 4G. Tap the chat button as well.
Chat button.
So that thing.
Yeah, we're running.
Alright, right. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. That's our elders who we learned from. Okay, the elder apostle Tahar, elder apostle Gabar, elder apostle Ramla, elder apostle Rakah, right, and all the other elders underneath them on down, man. That's who we learned from. That's the heads of this ministry. Shalom to all the brothers, all the other elders out there teaching on the highways and byways and putting up the videos, doing the work of the ministry. Honors to you. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there listening and learning and supporting the ministry. And we wanted to basically today brothers have been going into this topic, but it's a pertinent topic because we're in those times. We want to talk about the greatest of famines, which is about to fall upon the earth. Another word for famine in the scriptures is dearth, right? You know, there's going to be a great dearth on the earth, but not only of food, it's going to be a shortage of all resources, energy resources, medical supplies.
Yep.
And we told you this, you know, and when it's not to brag and boast. The scripture said the prudent man perceiveth the evil and hideth himself. And we know the scripture said the name of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous runneth into it and saved. So with the way we hide ourselves is by coming closer to the Lord. But we perceive the evil by going into the scriptures and being watchmen. You know, what does the scripture say again? Redeeming, be ye circumspect, right? Meaning to look around, redeeming the times, for the times are evil. Okay, so you got to always be on your A game. You got to always be looking at events and checking things out, and that's what we do here at Great Millstone. Well, you know, I don't be really watching these other camps a lot, but I'm sure you'll find that we constantly going into not only current events, right, but you know, overall overarching agendas and filtering it through the scriptures like the apostles told us to do. Everything that we teach, everything we do, we have to filter it through the scriptures. That's how you separate the lie, you know, from the truth. Okay, so we go into all of that, man, and we've been telling you that these things are going to happen. We've been showing you how, you know, through various means, through the weather patterns and through man-made mechanisms, how the Lord is using Esau and using the weather and so forth to bring forth this death. And we've also, one other thing we spoke about, we told you when this scam, you know what I'm talking about, the that thing, when that thing came around, we told you, listen, this keyword shortages, that buzzword is going to become more and more and more. You're going to hear more and more and more about shortages and shortages, and that's backed up in the scriptures. And then what else have we been telling you for years? And there's videos going back for years. We told you that the MOTB system is going to be a system which is also going to be a form of rationing.
Yep. Right?
And we got video, even this brother was there. We got videos where we went to the Imperial War Museum down there in what area is that again? On the northern line.
I don't know the area, you know.
Yeah, it's on the northern line down the bottom. Not Borough, is it?
Where's the Borough down there? Oh.
Yeah, I know Borough, but is it the Borough area? Down near the Oval as well. But anyway, down in South London, south of the river, there's the Imperial War Museum, and we went into the section on war rationing, and we showed how in a time of crisis, the government comes in and to control the resources. Yep. And not only that, they took control of the whole supply chain, whereby the shop owners, the dispensers, the people who are distributing the food, they had to be strictly follow a system of giving out the food and the resources. And then so everybody received what, a rationing.
Wasn't saying something, but you know, back then, well, I imagine, I don't know for sure, but I imagine back then, you know, you had more local stores, right? Your neighborhood grocers and that kind of stuff where you get your stuff from, right? But in this time to come, man, the government are going to choose who are able to distribute food. i.e. their corporations, their Asda's, their Walmarts and things like that, they're approved, right? So it's not like you can just go to the store and get it. They're gonna make sure that these rules are set in place, right? You ain't gonna be able to, you know, go, oh, you know, like you know him on a personal level. No, it ain't gonna be that,
Right.
you know?
Because back then they had checks and balances, which was paper, and so if you were found to be not following the rationing system, that was punishable by imprisonment, both for the person selling and for the person receiving. Okay, and they had the little ration booklets, and we show you all that history.
Yeah, they
But
get stamped.
what we're telling you is that now that same system is going to be brought forth, but this time it's going to be a digital system,
yeah.
which allows them to be in even more control. And that's part of the MOTB, the mark of the beast, controlling buying and selling, who can buy and who can sell, and how much you can buy, how much you can sell, when, where, and if, through this digital system.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna put it all together and bring the scriptures.
Yeah,
bring it up.
This is from 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. I'm going from the top, right? So, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. You know, us brothers, we know what's going on, right? It's these people out here that don't really understand what's really going on out here. What this is all leading up to, man. They think these are just random events that are taking place, and eventually they're going to right themselves. That's not what's happening right now, and we know that.
Yeah,
right?
and I'm glad you said that it's random events, because you see with the MOTB, and that's why we go into the algorithm and we speak about the infrastructure, and what it is that they're all different pieces of the puzzle that have to come together.
Yep.
Think of the MOTB system as it reminds me of the Forbidden West, the Gaia, because she's got the sub, all the sub what do they call it, sub routines. Basically, you look at the MOTB as various systems that are going to interconnect as one. It's not just one system, right? Now, as these systems are being built, if you're not looking at the bigger picture, if you're not looking at the wider agenda, it will look like this is an individual occurrence and something which is completely separate. So for instance, like when they were doing the the passes for the, right, one might look at that and think, oh, that's a separate system. Yeah, and then you might look at the digital ID and think, oh, that's a separate system. Then you might look at the CBDCs and think that's a separate system. Then you might go over here and look at the ubiquitous RFID system that's being built. You got companies like VeChain and so forth bringing what's known as cradle to grave tracking and tracing to all resources, and you might think, oh, that's a separate system. Then you might look at the 5G network, the 5G network, the 4G network, which that allows for communication information to be passed backward and forward. 5G has what's known as low latency. For you gamers out there, you know what that means. When you got latency is basically how real time, how long the pings take. So if you got a system that needs to operate in real time, like if you're gaming, you're playing Call of Duty,
you need to get that as close to zero as possible.
You need to get close to zero as possible. So what you're doing is happening in real time. If you got a massive if you got high latency, if you got high latency, what happens is everything has a lag that you're doing. Remember, the MOTB system is going to be a system that's going to operate in real time with these AIs. So they need that infrastructure to form part of the system they're building. What else do they need? They needed the broadband system. That's why they were doing all these. In fact, get me Micah 2-on-1. That's why they've the internet itself, that infrastructure has been pushed out there throughout the earth in various means. So you got these mobile networks, which allows for mobile internet. You also got the broadband, the fiber optic, allows for high speed internet with low latency. Okay, you've got the satellite internet, which actually what makes the internet global. Yeah, the scriptures speak about the unicorn, because the internet is, most of us are using internet that's based upon a cable system. But if you're in a rural area, there is no cable internet. If you want to truly get internet on a global scale, it's done through satellite. And then what's one of the major systems that's being built right now by your favorite puppet billionaire, Elon Musk? What's he building? Starlink. What's Starlink? Super high speed internet, which is available globally. And then they tested it out in Ukraine. So you might look at that and think, oh, that's happening by itself. No, they need that. Then you might look at the AI. You think, oh, that's a separate, you know what I'm saying? But all these things are going to come together.
Even the vehicles, now they're coming in. They're going electric, isn't it?
Oh, the electric cars, because they can be fully
automation.
Yep, which runs on the 5G thing again, the Internet of Things, you know, communication between lampposts and your home, everything.
Smart meters.
It's all being brought into oneness.
The ESG, all these different systems that are coming about, and that's what they do. Esau, he keeps the people confused, so you can't put it all together.
Yeah.
You're thinking all these things are happening randomly and separate.
Because it is a vast plan, and that's why people can't imagine the fact that how a plan like this can go on, right? But this is why they go have these secret meetings. They have the Bilderbergs and the
WEFs and
yeah, you know, the Gs and the G10s and whatever, right? They discuss these things because they're all working on separate parts of the plan. You know what I'm saying? And they all have to. There's a time scale, so they're all working to time scale. That's why things get pushed at certain times to bring it in, even though you might think the world's not ready for it yet. But they cause a situation to make it be ready.
Yep.
You know, so they're forcing the time because Esau, Revelations 12 and 12. You know, Satan comes with great wrath because you know you have but a short time.
Yep.
Right. So he's pushing things quicker now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you want Micah 2?
Yeah, Micah 2 and 1.
Yep. So Micah 2 and 1 says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds."
Right, because this, what they call the New World Order, which a lot of these people don't understand what the New World Order is. We understand that the New World Order is Esau, Edom trying to establish his own blessing. He wants to establish the blessing that was given to Jacob for himself by his own will, using his own wisdom, which is his technology. We know that it's not something which is alien to the scriptures. That's just what they call it. They call it a New World Order. What they're trying to give to themselves is the kingdom. They're trying to establish the kingdom for themselves, where they could be rulers over the world forever.
Yep.
But that blessing was given unto us. Yeah. Go on.
It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds."
Right. The MOTB is evil because the MOTB is basically blasphemy against the Most High, because not only are they trying to gain, they trying to have the power of the Most High in the earth. They try to usurp the Most High in the way of they want to be all-seeing, all-knowing,
and
all-powerful. They want to be worshipped through this technological system, this technocracy. But on top of that, they're breaking all kind of laws of the Most High to do it.
Yep.
So they want to number the people. They want to, you know what I mean? Which the scripture says you ain't supposed to number the people. David was punished for that.
They want to manipulate life.
They want to manipulate life. They want to mix seeds, you know,
yep.
and do all these wickedness.
Grow children. You know, they want to decide whether we can have children or not. They want to control all aspects of life.
Yep.
But only the Most High has the power of that control, you know, to do all those sorts of things. Make a woman barren. He could do that.
Yep.
But he's doing his own thing. He wants to do things his own way because he's upset. He's angry against the Heavenly Father, man.
He hurt.
You know.
He hurt. And then another thing is the ultimate blasphemy is the Lord have already said that Jacob is blessed.
That's right.
And he's trying to curse Jacob forever. He's trying to condemn us forever. Therefore, trying to make the Most High into a liar, and the Most High can't be a liar. So this man is, everything he's doing is evil.
Yep.
Go on, read on.
So when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands.
Right, they have the power. You so-called Negroes in this world, you don't have no power. How do we know that? Can you so-called Negroes get together, get a bunch of you together, have a meeting, and actually create and formulate an agenda and exert that agenda on the earth? No, you can't. No, you can't. You can't have an overarching agenda that affects people in China, that affects people in India, that affects people in the jungle somewhere. Or everything that affects people really is the brainchild of Esau, Edom. Even down to even if they put you Negroes at the head of something in terms of on the shop front, who was really behind it? Like before we started this lesson, we were talking about celebrityism, and how they use pop culture, how they use entertainment and all these things to basically push their agendas. But whose agenda are they pushing? When you see these different celebrities pushing agendas, they didn't sit down and come up with that agenda. the NWA and Tupac and Biggie and all these fucking goofy ass Negroes, they didn't come up and say, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna influence our people to do this and do. No, that come from the Tavistock. It come from Edomites sitting in a council, and they said, yeah, this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna get these goofy ass Negroes and we're gonna put them up. And then through that agency, they were able to basically affect people all over the world.
Yep.
Here in the UK, to this day, people are being influenced by Tupac and Biggie. But was it Tupac's and Biggie's agenda? No, it was the agenda of Esau Edom. So you Jakes don't actually have the power to influence any industry on the face of the planet Earth, because you don't have no power in this world. You can't prosper in doing anything. Let's get that in the curses real quick. You can't prosper in an agenda. The music industry doesn't belong to you. The path of the music industry is determined by the small hats. Point blank period. These niggas ain't got a say in it. They don't have a say. The Edomites say, this is what you're gonna do, this is what you're gonna sing, this is what you're gonna write about.
They promote the popular culture.
And they do it.
Yep. Because what, you know, they got them groups on, they love pop. they love that shit, man. You know, but where did they get that from?
Esau.
You know, even these Korean bands that are really supposed to be popular right now, man. Where's the image from?
Yep.
It's from, you know, America,
from Hollywood.
Exactly.
Guess where they're getting their marching orders from.
Yep.
The movies. Oh, Denzel's an actor. Denzel don't decide what's going on in them films. He's an actor.
So Esau has the ability to influence the whole earth.
Exactly. He sits at the top, so he can tell all these different companies and so forth, this is what you're going to do. MasterCard, Visa, you're going to implement a contactless system.
They build the legislation, they build the parameters of which a company can operate on.
They control the government.
You know, that's why they have these global institutions, man. Like the WHO. Through this whole thing that we've been going through, the WHO has been one telling people, oh yeah, you must do this, you must do that, or this is the protocol for this and that. Who are they? You know what I'm saying? Like, Esau set those things up, man.
Even if you see they put a so-called Negro as a front man, he ain't the one that's come up with the agenda. He's just a mouthpiece. And that's where you so-called Negroes get it all twisted. That's why you want to see, we got to see more black people in positions of power. I got news for you. They're puppets. They ain't got no power. Not even a bit of power. You all flipping celebrating because that nasty black woman got put into the, what was it? That too. And the judge.
Oh, that one.
The High Court. I forgot what the hell the name. Man, she gonna do what she told, man. She already know what the rulings are gonna be. Go on, read this.
Yeah, okay. It's a book of Deuteronomy 28 and 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
That's our people. Wherever we are, other nations are above us. They're setting the agenda. They're setting it. And then there might be members of our people that are being controlled by them to do certain things, and if they do what they're told, they get benefits. That's your boule members. That's certain Negroes. They sell out to Esau and the other nations, and then they get kickbacks from that. But they're not setting the agenda. They're not really setting forth nothing of their own. They're jumping on the bandwagon.
They're followers.
Yeah, puppets on a string.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
That's another thing. Esau's the one that has the monetary power to fund enterprises. He can fund. You need money. Listen, money is a defense. The only thing we don't need funding in that way. No major funding, because our thing is of the spirit and it's grassroots. But if you really want to have any impact in this world, you need money behind it. You need money behind it. And who's the money man? Who's the money man? It's not these so-called Negroes. If you wanna in the media industry, it's all about having money behind you.
And you know what? It goes even further sometimes, man, because it's not even about the money sometimes. You might actually have the money to do something, but they can decide to block you, man.
Yeah.
Ask Kanye.
Legislative.
Kanye got money, but he can't control his own brand, his image. He can't control none of that. They won't let him.
Well, he ain't, and in fact, he really ain't got money like that.
Not compared to them, yeah.
He ain't got money like that, really. But I see what he's saying. He's got money, but even then,
they can decide.
The money he's got, they can block you, they can blacklist you, because they have the power. He couldn't set up his own agenda. You know what? Yeah, this is what we're gonna do. Nah, man. They're like, listen, stop that. No, no. Take your woman and give it to some creepy ass, some creepy looking no humor having small hat man. Which that's all a distraction. All this celebrity drama, it's all 99% of it's fake, and it's all designed to keep you confused, so you don't keep your eye on what's really going on. You care about Kim and Kanye and that. I don't really get caught up on that shit no more. It's all
real issues going on.
Yeah, it's designed to be a constant stream of drama, and they create the drama to make sure that there's drama there. You know, and these people get, they get you find a lot of the drama leads to them making more money because attention, innit? Going up.
Slap and all that shit.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be a tail.
Right.
Shall be the tail.
Where the tail in this thing? Where the tail? Esau is the one that's at the head. So he's the one that's running this world that we see right here. He's calling the shots, like the brother mentioned. All these major non-governmental organizations and governments and these major corporations are run and controlled by the Edomites and these other nations. They're not run and controlled by Israel for our benefit or our own agenda.
And they're all moving towards that one agenda that they have.
Even Black Lives Matter exposed that. That was meant to be our thing.
Soros.
Where's George Soros, man? And then he was the money behind it. Again. Yeah.
And your leader ducked out after she had enough money.
Your lesbian leader. Fucking Scissorer. Melissa Scissor. Anyway, go on.
Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in anger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
The want of all things. That's why Jake sell out, man. Because if you want to get something, you got to go to Esau, and then Esau will give it to you. Because he's the one that's basically controlling, like, everything. You know? If you really want to be successful in this world, at some point, Esau has to give you the green light. Okay, all right, he could get that position, or okay, give him that loan. If they want, they could make it very difficult for you.
Because the scriptures say, man, the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked, right? This is Satan's playground right now. Esau is the head right now, right? And he has the ability to offer you things. Just like when Satan offered Yahushua these kingdoms, and he was in control of that right now. The Most High gave it into Satan's hands to do what he's want to do with it right now, right? So it's the same thing in this world. If you want things, you gotta go through him and the way he does things, man. And he'll give it to you quick. He won't have to wait for the kingdom of heaven. He'll give it to you now, right? It's to some degree, but guess what? It's gonna cost you something, man.
Yeah, you lose your agency. You don't have your own agency, man. You don't control your own life. He controls you, even down to the woman that you got.
Yep.
That's why a lot of people don't even realize that a lot of these celebrity relationships, Esau's the one that's told them to be together. People don't realize that. You think, oh, they just met up and they're together. Nah, man, it's all set up. You think Beyonce and Jay-Z just met up and then went, oh, we love each other. Nah, they said, you two witches, you're gonna come together, you're gonna be a power couple. You know what I mean? But anyway, fuck them. Is that it on that, or is there more? Yeah.
In want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
That's right. There you go. Scripture said as well, we're not going to prosper in our ways. Okay, so where was we? Jump back here.
Micah, yeah. Micah 2:1 again says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. They covet fields and take them by violence.
Right, they covet fields. Esau's ultimate agenda is to consume the whole earth, which is a direct violation, because the Lord have given unto all nations their inheritance. But Esau wants to gather up the inheritance of all nations, including the inheritance of Israel, which includes the rulership of all lands, to himself. He says he's a thief. And that's why they made a statement. We went into it a few weeks back or a couple months back. You will own nothing and be happy. What do you mean by that? Deuteronomy 32:8. The Lord divided unto all nations their inheritance. Esau's like, nah, forget that. We want it all territories. Not even that he's gonna rule over you in your land. No, it's not gonna be yours at all.
Yeah. gonna be mine.
It's gonna be his. Everything belongs to him. The rain that falls from the sky, man, even just make a drop of water from the sky fall into your mouth, and it's gonna be a problem. That's the level that Esau's going on. You can't even, you ain't gonna be able to drink from a pool of water on the floor because that belongs to Esau. All the resources, everything in this earth will belong to him.
Yep.
And then he gonna give you what he feel like he wanna give you out of that. Like a pussy, yo.
Yeah.
Some Greek child.
Yeah.
It's the book of Deuteronomy 32:8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance.
Right, it says the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance. And the Lord was strict about that. That's why when Israel was coming out of Egypt, and we were making our way towards the promised land, because ultimately that was our land anyway. That holy land really has always been the inheritance of the holy people when you really read the scriptures. Right, the Canaanites were temporary inhabitants. They just happened to live there, but the Lord had another inheritance for them, not the Holy Land. The Holy Land was always meant to be for Israel. That's why the Lord said, yo, you're gonna go and you're gonna get that land because I promised it to you. But what did he say about Ammon's land and Moab's land? He said, don't touch that land. That land have I given unto them.
Yep.
We didn't just come through and take everybody's land. Everyone kept their own land. Even Esau, Edom had his own land. When we were passing through, we said, yo, if we drink any water, guess what? We'll pay you for it. Yep. And Esau was like, nah. Yeah? But the Lord said, he specifically said, no, don't touch these other nations' lands because I've given that unto them. So showing you the Lord respects his own what's it called? Dispensation of inheritance. But this man, Esau, Edom, he don't respect that. He don't respect the ancient landmark. He wants everything unto himself.
No borders.
As it is written, he is as deaf and he cannot be satisfied.
Right,
let's get that.
He says, Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home.
Proud, and that's pride. Because the scripture says the beginning of pride is when one's heart turneth away from his maker. So that's pride when you're like, okay, the Most High said this person can have that and this person can have that and I can have this. And I'm like, nah, fuck that. I want it all. That's pride. Like, who do you think you are? You think you're that higher, that much more than everyone else that you could just take everything? Who does this man think he is?
And that's exactly how Esau's lived his life. The so-called white man has lived his life by that way. By the sword and by thievery, man.
Covetousness.
So, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, he just continues to grow. He ain't happy with what he's got a lot. He's got that almost everything. But he ain't happy until he got it on. Even then he won't be happy. He want more than that.
He want Mars.
I want the stars.
Yeah, he want
everything.
You get me? You better not be no aliens nowhere, because you in trouble, boy. We come in peace. Boop, gunshot to the forehead. Hey, listen, there better not be no. And even Esau will tell you that. Esau will put it in his movies. He's a buck up on some aliens and just kill them all. You know what I'm saying?
He acts first, asks questions after, isn't it, man?
Oh, I like this planet.
With the avatars and that kind of stuff. They're making a second one now, aren't they? So,
they're gonna cash you out.
That's Esau through and through, man.
It's probably gonna be shit too, man. It's gonna sell tickets no matter what.
So enlarge of his desire as.
Is that? Always the second is not good, is it?
It don't need to be.
That's right. Good. So, enlarge of his desire as hell cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and keepeth unto himself all people. Like, he's trying to create that one world government. He wants everybody under his rulership, man.
He
wants to take advantage of everyone, everyone's labor, everyone's work.
And if you look at Esau, he's always had that lust to he ain't got no check. He ain't got no check, man. Esau, you could be in the deepest, darkest regions of the planet, Esau will find his way to where you are and take something that you got. This shit, he don't care if he got to chop through the jungle. He's getting bit up by fucking snakes, and he gonna make it to where you're like, damn, where you coming from? Man's coming from 8,000 miles away just to come fuck with your shit. What other people has done that in the? Most people they might try and bully their neighbors. Esau go beyond neighbors. Esau, look where they at in Antarctica. We go in there.
There's a land over there.
We go in there. We gonna fuck some shit up. Greedy as you like. They're the only people that's basically violated every people from everywhere in the earth. And if there was people on Mars, they'd be violating them too.
Yep.
It's mad. But hey, that's why the scripture says, man. You can't be satisfied.
Yep. I got a quick one.
Yeah, go on.
This is the book of Isaiah 14 and the 18. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house.
Right, that's going into the future. Ultimately, after these nations pay their penance, right, they're going to receive their inheritances back. And they're going to dwell in them inheritances, and they're going to have their own glory. They're going to have their own kings, but they're going to be paying tribute to the priests of the Lord, to the princes of the Most High, which is Israel. But they're going to have their own, it's going to be their land. Their inheritance is divided among themselves. But they're going to have to pay for living at it. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. Because we're the priests of the Most High. They have to pay the tithes, right? The tribute, man. But they're going to have their own things. But Esau ain't going to have nothing. He's going to, he wanted everything. And the poetic justice is he's going to end up with nothing. He the one that's going to own nothing. And he ain't going to be happy.
He could be dead.
But thou art cast out of thy, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the lament of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet.
That's right. And that's talking about Esau, man, because guess what, man? Where's the root of this Illuminati, this agenda come from? Bavaria, 1776. Who's that? Was that the so-called Chinese? Was that the Hamites? Was that Elam? No, it's Esau. The head of this whole endeavor goes back to certain particular Edomite families who formed these secret societies, and they're continuing that agenda to this day because the Lord put the spirit on them to do it, to fulfill what? Prophecy.
Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be known.
Right. Because even I think David Spalding made a statement that the new world order must be brought in with much blood. Hey, these men are some real devils, man. Okay, we done on that?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Deuteronomy 32 and 8. When the Most High divided to the nation their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
Because we're the chief people, the Israelites. We're the special ones, the Lord's peculiar treasure, and not Esau. Esau is not special, right, in any way, shape, or form. All right. Okay. So let's jump back into this Genesis. So the point of that is you gotta understand this is all Esau. Esau's doing, but it's prophecy. You got Genesis. Now they're gonna use this food, this coming famine. They're gonna use it to forward their agenda. And like we've always said, a lot of people they're not gonna take the MOTB because it's cool. They're gonna take the MOTB because they're hungry. The MOTB is gonna look like a form of salvation. It's gonna look like a safety net. People are actually gonna be fighting to get it.
Yep. They're gonna want it.
People are gonna be upset if they can't get it. Oh, I can't. I need. You ever seen them movies? I just need to get to the.
Hey, that FOMO.
They're gonna FOMOing in. They're gonna want us. There are people that are gonna die trying to get the MOTB. They're gonna be on their way, go through no man's land, so they can get that chip, because what they believe is gonna come with that chip is security and food. Yeah, and we've said this from the very beginning. Yeah. Yeah, let's get this. Now we're gonna go back to the story in Egypt, and remember that the elites, the small hats, they know these stories very well, so they understand that you can use food to manipulate a people into doing what you want. Let's read it.
So Bill Gates is buying lands right now.
Bill Gates buying up all the lands.
Yep.
Yeah, more and more.
And they're paying up people to cut production.
Yep.
As well, you know.
Well, Big Agro has been taking over the lands for a long time, so the little farmers are getting squeezed out of the agricultural game.
Yep.
You know, so that everything is basically being corporatized into bigger and bigger corporations owning everything. But that's all part of the plan. Fascism, the merger of the private and the corporate with the government. Amazon and all that, you know.
Yep.
Go on, Walmart.
It's the book of Genesis 41:1, and it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kine, and fat fleshed, and they fed in the middle, and behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the...
Yeah, looking like an Ethiopian cow, man. You ever see them cows in Ethiopia, man? Them cows be down bad, man. Them cows be looking like Skeletor from fucking Killer Instinct, man. Fight! They're looking at, no, not Skeletor, Spinal. They're looking like Spinal from Killer Instinct, man.
And stood by the other kind upon the brink of the river, and the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kind did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kind. So Pharaoh awoke, and he slept and dreamed the second time, and behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, lank and good, and behold, 7 thin ears, and it brasted with the east wind sprang up after them, and the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 lank and full-eared, and
that's like onto this place right now, man. You got your boom cycles and all that kind of stuff. This economy has been inflated to higher hell, man. All these bubbles have been created. Right after the crash, everything seems to come, went back to normal and been, better than ever, right? But now comes the time period now where all this is gonna crash. It's all gonna be destroyed, man. Okay, and now the people are gonna suffer.
Yeah, the time of plenty is coming to an end, man.
That's right.
Hey, it's good to see the suddenly shall the full store, and we're gonna get into it anyway. Let's keep going, cause we're gonna touch on that. It's all prophecy, you know. It's all prophetic.
And the Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream, and it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt.
Right, the magicians, man, which Egypt still got them magicians today. Them elite level witches and warlocks, man. But the Lord, a lot of times the Lord be a lying spirit in the
mouths, yeah.
in their mouths. But go on.
And all the wise men thereof, and Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh.
And you know what that shows you many times, that the left hand side, man, listen, the Most High could lock that up. He could lock them down. You know what I'm saying? They can't get nothing.
Then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my fault this day. Pharaoh was loath with his servants, and he put me in.
Jump down to let's get through it. Let's jump down to the point where Joseph breaks it down. So we don't, we're gonna go through it as quickly as possible. But these are all stories that you should be familiar with, man.
Yeah, bring it to
you
mind.
should be reading the scriptures, man, so that when we go into these things, we ain't gotta sit there and read 50 chapters for you to get it, man. It should be like, okay, yeah, I kind of know what's going on, so we can move through it, And if you don't know these stories, then you best get reading, man.
Read it,
and jump off TikTok.
Yep, read it.
Read it.
It's good to say the things are written aforetime for our learning, man. Because the world's gonna go through a similar phase, man.
Yeah, man. That's right.
So we jump to this is the book of Genesis 41 and 25. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. Most High has shown Pharaoh what he is about to do.
Who is about to do? The Most High. So ultimately, it's all the will of the Heavenly Father. Even though, because we're going to go into it, there's certain natural occurrences that are happening that are affecting the food supply. There's also certain things that there's certain things that some people may consider to be unnatural. Yeah, Esau himself is also sabotaging the food supply. But guess what? The scripture says the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and he turneth it whithersoever he will. So even if Esau is doing these things, it's still the Lord.
He's the one manipulating.
He's the one that's in control. The Lord ruleth in the kingdom of men. So it's still the Most High. So the Lord will use men to fulfill prophecy too.
Yep.
He could do that because we're part of his Rolodex. We're part of the tools that he can use in this matrix. Yeah.
Yep.
The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good years are 7 years of the dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty years blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine.
Famine. So the Lord predicted, because everything is of the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Good weather, all of that is really from the Lord. The weather is, yeah, on a certain level, like Esau will break it down to you. The weather is mainly controlled by the sun. A lot of people don't know that, but the sun has a massive impact on the weather. It's actually the main, that's why the ancients worship the sun, because they're worshiping the creature rather than the creator, and they understood that the sun has a massive impact on the weather, even down to the activity of the sun. That's why you go into certain things called a grand solar minimum. There's times of high solar activity and times of low solar activity, and they can show you how that affects the growing seasons and the weather patterns, the alteration of the sun, even down to the seasons. How do you get winter? How do you get spring? What are those things based upon? It's the position of the sun, and it goes into that in the Apocrypha. The Swift is the circuit. The circuit. Kind of. You know what that is? Is that in Esdras, first Esdras, like 4 or something like that? See if we could get that. But that's not. But who's controlling the sun? It ain't Esau. Esau wish he can control the sun. Nah, the sun, the bodies, celestial bodies, are under the vibration of the Most High. Yeah, not Esau, man. I know people think Esau's like some super technological genius, but he ain't all that.
Well, I got this one from Wisdom of Solomon 7. It reads here, it says, verse 18, the beginning and ending and amidst the times, the alterations of the turning of the sun.
The alterations of the turning of the sun.
And the change of the seasons.
The sun has seasons in terms of year, but the sun also has cycles, where they call it cycles, but the Most High is in control of that. In terms of long term, where there's certain times of high activity, certain times of low activity. We're actually in a time right now of what's known as low activity. And what they've seen is that when you get that low activity, what happens with that is crazy weather patterns, growing seasons all messed up, and that's what we've been witnessing for the last decade. Just mad weather patterns, crazy weathers. Brothers, where are you at? You can testify. The weather ain't the same, but that's the Lord blasting up the crops. But guess what? There's going to be more than that too. Esau's blasting the crops as well.
It says the circuit of years and the positions of the stars.
The positions.
It's a circuit of years, because we measure our years and all of that business. But the sun plays a major role in all of that, man. Our seasons is, like it says, governed by the position of the sun. Right.
But it's all the Lord. That's why we don't worship the sun. Anything that's in this realm has a wisdom behind it. But who's behind that wisdom? Who's behind controlling that? It's the Most High. So that's why all glory has to go back to the Most High. You ain't supposed to worship the creature. You worship the Creator. Yeah? Go on. There's another one as well in the Esdras, but in the course, Swift is the sun is his course. That's the one.
That's the one?
Yeah.
This is from 1 Esdras chapter 4, verse 34, right? So, O ye men, are not women strong? Great is the earth, high is the heaven, swift is the sun in his course. For he encompassed the heavens round about, and fetcheth his course again to his own place in one day.
Yep, there you go. So let's continue.
It's the book of Genesis 41 and 28. These are the things which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What Most High is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt, and there shall arise after them 7 years of famine.
Famine. So the Lord gave the plenteous, the abundance, and then the Lord gave famine. Go on, read on.
And all the prince shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt.
All the plenty. So when you got a time of abundance, yeah, when you get a time of famine, you ain't remembering that abundance because you hungry now. That's how that's how it works. Yeah, you could have, it's like money. You got time when you got a whole bag of money and then you're broke. When you're broke, you ain't remembering the time when you had all that money because you hurt now. You down bad. Yeah, go on.
Behold, there come 7 years, and there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the prince shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land.
There you go. And that's what's going to happen again. But the Lord's going to do that over the whole earth. Now jump down. So basically, Joseph, he stored up the food in the storehouses. You should know the story already. And then so Egypt had all this food because they prepared, because the Lord had forewarned them. But the surrounding nations didn't have the food. So everybody had to come to Egypt and pay for food. And then Egypt became great. Egypt became powerful. Egypt became rich through Joseph. They had all that gold and silver from the surrounding nations, right? But what we're going to show you something, and this lines up with history, because if you go back and you study secular history, there was a time when the Pharaoh didn't have power over all the tribes in the land of Egypt. But then what happened was, which we know what happened, Pharaoh then became the owner of all the land of Egypt. So when you go back into Egyptian culture, like, you get these goofy Negroes, Egyptology, like what's his name, Umar Johnson, and these niggas, they love Egypt. Egypt was an oppressive society because in Egypt, unlike the Israelite society, the only people that owned the land in Egypt was the Pharaoh and the priesthood. Nobody else owned any land. Your land was rented to you by the Pharaoh, and you had to pay a 20% tax on your produce to Pharaoh, which we're gonna read it. And that's how Pharaoh became lord over all the Egyptians. Now that couldn't happen in Israel. He's showing you these goofy guys. Oh, Israel, they got the laws from Egypt. But how the hell we get the laws from Egypt when our laws are completely adverse to Egyptian culture and society? Because according to our laws, we have laws to protect a man's inheritance, that even if he sells that inheritance because he's in a bad way, he gets that inheritance back in the year of the Jubilee. Now, did the Egyptians have the year of the Jubilee? But so then I thought we got it from Egypt. You goofy, man. Stop it. Like, we didn't get nothing from Egypt, man. Only thing we got from Egypt was whippings on the back. Talking about, man, the law come from Egypt. Them Egyptians were goofy. Yeah? Go on.
This is the book of Genesis 47 and 13. And there was no bread in all the land for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine.
So even up them Canaanites and the Philistines, they were suffering, because then that's the Fertile Crescent as well, and they were hurt. The Lord caused a famine even in the Holy Land, because the Lord could do that. It was looking probably dusty like it does now. Crusty and dusty, man. Good.
And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt.
So everyone had to come and pay up, pay their money, and they could get grain. And the price was high because supply and demand. Yep. So the man had to pay up.
Mad demand.
Yeah. The demand, you have to pay what man's asking, right? If you want to eat.
Infinite demand.
That's what you're going to start seeing happening now. You're going to start seeing price gouging, because they're like, right, these men have got to come to us. So they start putting the price up. But eventually what's going to happen is the government is going to have to step in and say, okay, we're going to control the price and we're going to control the supply.
That's what
because that's what they did before. Because during the war, that's why you got to know history. What would happen was, because the supply was all messed up, people would start putting the price so high that most people couldn't afford to buy the food. So the government had to step in and say, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to fix the price.
Yeah, standardize it, yeah.
But then we're also going to bring in a ration. And their reasoning for that, listen to this. Their reasoning was so that rich and poor
could buy.
could buy and afford the food. What does that sound like? He calls it all, yeah? Rich and poor. You can't make this stuff up. History is going to repeat itself all over again. This time with the digital all. Yeah? Go on.
Because there's a lot of focus on the poor right now, not being able to afford things. All the prices going up, the gas, all the energy bills, all the food bills, the food banks. All this is a lot of pressure on the poor, and they're going to have to do something about it at some point.
Because they care about that.
Because they care, right? So they're going to cap it. They're going to cap it at some point.
They set it to one price, but there's going to be a ration. And how's that system going to be managed? Through the digital system.
And I believe the government make up for whatever the extra cost is or whatever. But you, as a person, can go to a shop and buy something. But it's
and don't believe me. Go do your research. Go on YouTube, type in World War rationing, and you'll see all the adverts and the infomercials. And this is what they were saying. I've done the research. Now you don't have to believe me. Go look good to your going and find out. Oh shit, they were saying that they want all, you know, rich and poor to be able to get this food.
Yep. And these are all programs, so obviously they have to, you know, like I said, they have to advertise it to you. They have to kind of get you up onto how to do it, when to, and all this kind of business. So there will be a scheme or a thing that comes into play. They'll be start promoting that sort of stuff, man.
Yep.
You know,
rationing of energy. It's already here. Going up.
And the universal basic income as well as they talk
basic
about.
income,
universal basic rations.
digital.
Universal basic slaves. Yeah.
For the corn which they bought, and Joseph brought.
Oh, hold on, that's Slovakia, and that goes into the lockdowns and the what's it called? The damn fucking shit, man. What's it called when they were paying the furlough?
Oh,
they were paying out the furlough. So basically, nobody had a job at the time, so you would get that furlough. So you're getting that UBI off the government. You know,
everyone used to the idea of getting payments.
Yep, because you can't work, so they're gonna give you this thing.
Yep, because you ain't gonna be able to work again. Yeah,
but it's gonna come with strings, puppets. Go on.
And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought.
Yeah, that's why when we were leaving out Egypt and we spoiled the Egyptians, we left Egypt with a bag of, we left Egypt blinging.
Loaded.
We had money, man, because Egypt had money because of what happened during the time of Joseph. So we left with riches, man.
Well, it mentions the treasured cities and stuff like that. You know, these are grand places that we built. You know what I mean? So there's money there, you know? There's money there.
Yeah, that's why these goofy guys are getting gassed off Egypt today.
Yeah.
You know, you go down to the museum and they started gassing themselves up, building these massive statues of themselves. You gotta watch a guy that's building a massive statue of himself, man. Start calling himself gods like they're Xerxes and shit.
The ego.
I'm a god king. Man, fuck out of here, man. You goofy, man. You married your sister. Anyway, go on up.
Everybody else.
And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house.
Into Pharaoh's house. Yeah.
And when money failed in the land of Egypt,
man ain't have no. When my money, what's it talking about? Gold and silver. When them man never had no gold and silver, meaning the money, the people in Egypt, they paid up because it's 7 years. You know, people were hard up. And that's going to happen to a lot of people. Their disposable income is going to start getting nyam up by the cost of food.
Yeah.
And that's already starting to happen in certain countries already. They're going to start rioting because all their money is going on paying for fuel and food. Money failing them.
The inflation is getting so much, it's going to get crazy that you won't even be worth nothing. You know? So they're going to be like, oh, get rid of that, then there's no point. We'll put you on this digital system.
Yep.
You know,
And then that digital money is simply just going to be an exchange of value for a particular amount of a resource.
And that's why the CBDCs is so important, man, because it's programmable money.
And remember who it is that was telling you about the CBDCs from the very beginning. Because some of these goofy guys, they're going to try and come around the back end after they've been cursing us out and saying we're wacky conspiracy theorists and we're bums. Yeah, we're bums, but we got laptops and we were doing that research. You guys ain't bums, but you can't do not even a bit of research. You man have got all the money, you got all the glorious garments. Didn't hear you man talking about CBDCs.
Can't use the Google. Right?
That man, the market is the monetary system, but he never mentioned nothing about the CB. He didn't go into it. He didn't go into no detail.
Yep.
We're the ones that have gone into the detail and said, okay, well, look at this. Central bank digital currencies. This is how it works. We're the only ones talking about that, man. Real men of wisdom. Right. Enlightened men. You know?
Well, like I said, it's all programmable, man. So you can't use it for willy-nilly, man. You can't use it for what you want. You get told what to use it for.
That's right. That's right. And that's the programmability, what they call smart contracts.
Yep.
Yeah, you can design the money with smart contracts. Yeah, that you can do that. You know what I'm saying? Go on. You could design it so it's automated, so ain't gonna be no one to call. If you don't meet a certain requirement, there's not gonna be no guy pushing a button. Okay, it flagged up on the system. Yeah. Because nowadays, like even at where we work here, it ain't automated, man. You might get like 5 lates in a row, but the manager has to go onto the system and actually look, and then the system will flag it, and then they know. But if the manager don't go on the system, nothing happen. So you could get, where we work, you could get away with it sometime if the managers are lazy.
Yeah, he's removing all kind of human error. Removing all kind of, that's why you got AI and shit, you know.
Hey, if you're lucky, so a couple managers are off sick, yeah, so they don't bother. That's what's happening to me. The spirit had it where, you know, I should be getting a disciplinary right now, but the spirit kind of. Hey, it is what it is. But now, if the system was fully automated, what would happen? A smart contract would, okay, he's been late this amount of time, automatically issue the disciplinary and deduct this amount from his pay. Automatically, no humans needed. Yeah. Automation and through smart contracts. Go on up. We have the technology.
Yeah, that reminds you of Elysium, man. When the man's at the place, man, I can't say nothing to him. Like, I mean,
yeah, it's all automatic.
Yeah,
it's all automatic. Go on up.
And when manna failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, "Give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence?"
Yeah, they come beggy, and a lot of you are gonna be coming beggy. When all hell breaks loose, a lot of you people are gonna be beggy. Now, some men are gonna go mad. Don't get it twisted. That's what the scriptures say. Some men ain't gonna play no game. They ain't gonna be begging the government for nothing. They're gonna go out there and like Capleton said, the youth them hunt them food, yeah. They're gonna be, certain men are gonna go out there. That's why the scripture says they shall not regard their kings nor their princes. There's certain, what we call them, seditious fellows that ain't gonna play no games. They ain't gonna. But a lot of you people you got this mama goose, like you gonna look to the government for salvation. You're gonna be, oh, where FEMA at? You remember when that man had Katrina? That man had big fucking placard. Where FEMA at? Yep. Yo, where FEMA at? Yo, man. Big hard niggas with Glocks and shit. Yeah, where FEMA at? You know, they're gonna be looking for some of that government cheese, that Soylent Green. Yeah? Yep. Just like the Egyptians.
Yeah. From 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14 says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall fight to stand up and fight against another and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men."
Right. Certain men they're gonna be against the system. They're gonna be a law unto themselves. That's gonna be a percentage of the population.
Because some people know that this is all set up. They know a little thing, you know. So they're privy to what the agenda is, man. So when that time comes, man, they're not gonna sit there and wait to be told what to do.
Certainly these militias.
Yep.
And they're gonna be hunting that food.
Yep. It says, "And there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes."
So the government would be like, okay, stay in your house. We're gonna do this. And then man are like, yo, I ain't trying to hear none of that.
Hey, yeah. Because look what's happening in
China.
Yeah. You know, is it Beijing? Right. Wherever it is in China, isn't it?
One of them good.
Them set up in their flats or whatever for weeks.
Yeah.
You know
yeah, because again, like I said, just because the government say they're gonna give you something, don't mean you're gonna get it.
Yeah. You know, and they got drones telling them to stay indoors and to be quiet.
Hey, you ever seen that meme where there's a skeleton at the computer, like waiting for something to happen? That's gonna be waiting for man to deliver that food.
So they should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Right. So there's certain times where these seditious people, they're gonna get the upper hand and they're gonna be controlling certain areas, and they know that certain places are gonna become like no man's land. They're gonna be places that no one controls, and it's just wild shit going on. Some Hotel Rwanda type shit. Like, there ain't no law there, so you better be about it. Well, mainly the Lord better be with you. So you buck up upon a couple man, they ain't no human right. Listen, there ain't even gonna be a bit of human rights.
Yeah, but this is why when we talk about the famine, we also talk about the cannibalism, man. Because food is going to be hard to get by, right? And we've all seen those post-apocalyptic films, man, how things get, right? And people get like this, man. It's happened before in history, right? Yeah. So you to think it won't happen like that, you're underestimating the situation, man.
That's right.
Right? Because these people are going to get ruthless. The hearts of men shall wax cold.
Yeah, man. I can move the Lord.
The road, yep.
Yeah. The road, yep.
Eating each other.
Yep. So if they can't get something and they see livestock, i.e. you, right? They're going to take you, man.
Fat booty.
Cooked or not cooked, you know, they got fire or not got fire, man. They're gonna take you, man.
Yeah, it's true.
You know,
real talk. Savagery.
Yep.
Going up.
This is want to read the rest of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Verse 17: a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
Right.
Lockdowns, right?
There's certain places, cities are gonna be locked down, like, because they could do that. The military, see, the military, the way they work, they cordon and control. So they control certain key positions. Yep. That's how warfare works. So certain entrances to the cities and certain, they can control that. And then cordon and control, shut off certain areas. That's what's going to be going on. That's what martial law is. You know? So you might want to leave from one city to another. You got to get past a couple tanks, bro.
Well, we know, like here in the UK at least, man, I can't speak for roads elsewhere, man, but like here we got like orbitals, man.
Yeah, America have the interstate.
Right?
The United States, their motorways are designed same kind of way.
Okay, so we know there's junctions, man, and all they got to do is block those junctions.
Yeah. And
you can't come in, you can't go out of it.
Yep.
You know, you might be on the road, but you can't go nowhere. You can't go to the next orbital, like the next region. You know,
unless you got a tank yourself.
It's verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid.
Yeah, man, a lot of these people, they're like these, you know, man's buy up them fucking $2-3 million townhouses down in London. Bun down that tabernacle, man.
Yep.
What's it going to be worth you in that day?
Yep.
Smoke bellowing out the top.
Well, we had to look at that when the London riots kicked in. You know, man are just torching places, you know. Because they felt, you know, because they were rioting, man. Right, it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread.
Because of the lack of bread. The lack of bread is going to play a big role in the time to come, man.
Hunger is going to send people crazy. You know, vicious. Right? It says, for great tribulation.
Like just bad times, man. Lack of resources. You're struggling to get electricity. You're struggling to get fuel. You know, you're struggling to get medication because so many people are on medications.
Yeah, that's right.
You're struggling to get your medical needs. A lot of men are on that other type of medication too. They're gonna be struggling for that. A lot of these men are gonna be going cold turkey, dying off that. A lot of these crackheads are gonna die just off going old. They're gonna have to go cold turkey. Well, they're gonna be somewhere in a room shivering. But
like brother read earlier, for the want of all things, man, right? You're gonna be in desperation mode, man, because I said Esau's got us all hooked up in so much shit because he's fucking us up real bad, right? So you're gonna be so dependent because you ain't gonna want to live like that, man. So when these governments come out with the MOTB and the idea that you know they can supply you with this and that, you're gonna be begging for that, man.
Begging.
Because you ain't gonna want to live the life that you're gonna be living in this time of trouble, man.
You ain't gonna see no other way out.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna see no other way out. You're gonna see, and that's the difference between you and the elect, because our way out is the Lord. We'll take that way.
Yep.
But for these other people, the only way they're gonna see is the government better help me out, because this is fucked.
Because it says men shall be afraid, man. You're gonna want that fear to end. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be looking for that fear to end, man. Because you're like the life from one second to the next, man, is in doubt, bro.
Yeah,
you know?
man.
So you're gonna want some sort of stability.
And these people are always begging the government to help them. Listen,
yeah.
Here it is, like some goofy Negroes, you know, down Stony or down Brixton, run up and bust a man's head cap here, you know, or do some kind of shooting and bust up. Then you'll have a bag of simp, weak ass Negro males with a bunch of mama goose women out there begging the government to do something about it. What the hell is the government gonna do about the fact that your own children are running around in the streets stabbing each other up? The government's responsible to sort your children out, man. What the hell are they gonna do about it? It's your children running around busting back headbacks. They ain't come from nowhere else. You ever notice that? Are they going out there protesting for the government to fix it? They're your children. It's your son. He's the one that was busting off.
But you know what? Hey, this was so messed up, man. These women, these mothers, supposed mothers, man, can't do a damn thing because they're powerless. You know?
So they're looking for the government.
These single parent homes.
So the government's got to fix it.
You know?
Government ain't gonna do this shit, man. Anyway.
So quick, one more point, man, because they operate on an order of chaos, right? They're just gonna create so much chaos, man. You'll be waiting for the government to bring that stability.
Yep.
And they're gonna be waiting, salivating, waiting to embrace you. You know? Yeah, just take this.
And people will take it, man.
Yep.
You damn right they're gonna take it. A lot of these people that say they're not gonna take it, I wouldn't. No, because you ain't hungry yet, man. As soon as you get hungry, you're gonna start listening to the people that told you it weren't the mark. Oh well, you know what?
Satan's gonna be right here.
You know what? Technically, you know, if I get it in my left hand, you know what I'm saying?
I can get around it, you know.
Yeah, go on.
That's
the hour of temptation, man. Yo, if I get this, if I have it in my left butt cheek, I'm gonna say, listen, man, I just don't want it in my right hand. Yeah.
So we cool. Head,
Esau's there smiling like, yeah, don't worry, man. Give me your left hand.
Elbow or something.
Yeah.
But it was the one, I mean, Gaza, I don't know. No, I mean in GMS, but as a group, we say like you can take it and then take it out.
Yeah, you got guys playing games, man. They're trying to tempt the Most High. That's what they're doing. They're tempting the Most High. We know you're not meant to do that.
You gonna cut it out?
Right.
Nigga, you ain't got the heart to do that.
They've been watching too many movies, man.
Yeah.
What was that movie, man?
Wait, what was it? Total Recall or some shit?
No, there was a new one. Might have been. Oh shit, I forget, man. But yeah, they were trying to cut shit out, man. If you're brave enough to do that, yeah, but you're an idiot for taking it in the first place.
Niggas ain't got no heart to be cutting open their hand like that, man. Niggas be squeamish as fuck.
Nigga
be watching too many movies, man. I'll just cut it out. Nigga, you ain't Rambo. Go on, man.
Tempt not the Lord, man. So almost what I'm gonna say.
You gonna cut it out. Nigga couldn't even cut the core out of an apple, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. Go
on. And in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, "Give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth."
Yeah, so that like asking government, "Oh, you're gonna let us starve?"
The money faileth. You know? Oh, that's also part of the monetary system crashing, like the brother said, the inflation and all that, because they're gonna crash all of that. They're gonna bring so that even the rich people are gonna be struggling, and we already went into that. Something called bank bail-ins. There's a terminology called bank bail-in where these banks go belly up and they take all the deposits. So you could have $1 million, you could have 2-3 million in the bank.
No access.
That's it. It's gone. So you basically become like everybody else.
Yep.
Look that up. Look up that term, bank bailing. Yeah.
And Joseph said, "Give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail." And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for the horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds.
See, the bad thing about this right now, right? Esau's actually taking so much already. You ain't actually got nothing to play with. You know, you ain't got no property that you can. You know, most people don't own property.
Well,
you know.
Well, the way I'm looking at that is, you can actually bring it to everything you own belongs to them. Because once you take that chip, your car, you know what I'm saying?
Most people ain't got shit. You know
most people ain't, but you know, whatever you do have, the TV, everything, your mobile phone. Cause nowadays you ain't got no cattle, but you do in the West, niggas, people got shit. Even poor niggas got shit. Let's just keep it real. Niggas be poor with a fucking brand new iPhone. Niggas is full of shit in the West, man. Nigga, I'm poor. Nigga, you ain't poor. Go to a country where them man are wearing slippers, yeah. Them niggas is poor. You niggas have got flat screen TV. I'm poor. You go into any ghetto and you go into their houses, they got flat screen fucking TVs in there, man. Brand new 52 inches, man.
But most in the credit is.
Yeah, but they got it though. Yeah, if you that poor, you ain't got all that shit, man. It's full of shit, man. Got a flat screen. got a brand new iPhone.
Well, it plays into that. You know, you own nothing.
Yeah, when I look at that, yeah, they are gonna now all the possessions you do have, you are gonna give it up, because when you take that MOTB, you're putting yourself into a system where the government now they own you and they own everything that you think you own. That could be your car, that could be your bicycle, wherever you have that, don't matter. Could be your damn key ring. Yeah, it belongs to them. Yeah, your woman, your children, everything. Your ball sack, your sperm, everything. Your seed belongs to them now. Your DNA, your DNA, they patent your DNA, they own that too.
Your image rights.
Your image rights, everything, man. God damn. Go on, Hey, they said it. They said you own nothing. They said it. I didn't say it. Go talk to them. They said you own nothing and be happy. So you gonna give yourself over to these people, and they're gonna now be in control of everything that you're about. Everything, every single last aspect of you, including your emotions. You ain't even gonna be allowed to have particular emotions, man. Like they show you the movies where they're treating people for emotion. Like they give you the soma.
Yeah.
If you go to Brave New World, they keep people on them drugs that basically keep them in a particular emotional state.
Oh yeah.
The soma and all that stuff.
Like equilibrium as well.
Oh yeah, equilibrium.
Yeah. Or you can't protest. You can't
Yeah.
voice your opinions.
Unauthorized emotion.
Yeah. That's right.
Aggressive behavior.
And
There was a man, you couldn't even say the word fuck in Demolition Man. You know what I mean? If you use the word fuck, you know what I mean?
Free language.
Damn. Hey, that movie brought out a lot.
Yeah.
Demolition Man, because they had the chip in there, you know, the autonomous cars for you people that sucking off Tesla. That dude's part of the, you know, they're sucking off this dude Nikola Tesla, like he came up with.
Elon.
Elon. Sorry, man. So, I'm thinking of the car Tesla, and he stole fucking Tesla's name for it too. Yeah, Nikola Tesla was a real dunny. He was a real genius. People are looking at this guy Elon Musk like he's smart. He's a genius. He's a front man. He's not a fucking genius. He didn't invent nothing. He's a fraud. What did he invent? He ain't invented a damn thing. He's just a front man. The hell are these people looking at this guy like he's some kind of genius? Oh, Elon, he's so fucking smart. He ain't smart. He's a son of a guy that was always juiced in, and they gave him a position. Simple as that. There's real people that are actually intelligent behind the scenes, inventing nerds in a room somewhere. Not this guy Elon, because he got his. Fuck off out of here, man. I hate that dude, man. Fuck. These people worship this guy. Oh, Elon, he's so smart. He's gonna save the planet. Bro, that autonomous electric car thing, they already had that from way back. Yeah? Demolition Man. Because I mean he had to try and get control of the car to drive it manually. You remember that in the film? So they already knew where they were heading from back then, predictive programming. Go on,
What his idea?
Run away you, man. Go on.
And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the heads, and for the horses, and he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, we will not have.
Oh shit, he's taking the food. Oh,
Peak, man.
This dog is mad still. Oh man, opportunist.
When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, we will not hide it from.
Hey, that's that food, and that's gonna be happening too in the spirit. I mean, brothers can't see it, yeah, but this random dog just rolled up on a man's picnic and and took their food. That's the spirit, because that's gonna be happening too. Because these dogs right now, because Esau love them dogs, boy. He love having them dogs. Now them dogs are fed by people. So when the people can't afford food for themselves and they get hungry, what are they gonna do with these dogs? Well, these dogs are gonna have to go out there and seek food for themselves. So you might
them dogs gonna get feral, man.
They get feral, man. Get hungry.
Yeah.
And a hungry dog is a dangerous dog.
Yeah.
They're gonna do what they got to do to survive. Man, yam off the people's thing. No, no.
When that
This is
year
spirit,
was
man.
ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, We will not hide it from my Lord, how that our money is spent.
We're broke. We're broke ass. Yeah.
My Lord, also as our heads of cattle, there is not aught left in the sight of my Lord, but our bodies and our lands.
Your body. Yeah? And our what? And
our lands.
their bodies and their lands. So what did they have to do? They had to give over their sovereignty unto Pharaoh. They had to give up their land and themselves. It was real, and that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
The people are going to give themselves over onto Esau for the want of food and security and safety and all these things.
Yeah.
And they're going to put forward their hand and receive that mark.
Which is likened unto that yule, where a man will, basically give himself over to his master for the rest of his life. That's because it's a brand. That MOTB is a branding.
Well, it's writing, and it's everywhere you look at it, because the elder Aramla brought out the word grapho, and the word grapho means to write.
Right.
Now, when you break it down, see, we're gonna get spooky now, right? Technically, you see how you write with a pen on a piece of paper? That's how chips work, but not with a pen, and it's not paper. That's why you got something called, you can get a reader and a writer. So back in the day, you could have got, I used to build computers, you could buy a CD-ROM. Now a CD-ROM would read a CD, but you could buy a CD-ROM / writer, which means you can get a blank CD, put it in there and write information on that CD. Yeah, so same thing with RFID. You can get an RFID reader and you can get an RFID writer. So the chip is a way for them to write in and inscribe information inside of you. So that goes back to Charagma into grapho. It's a writing.
Yep.
They're writing information on you or in you using that chip.
Yep.
That's what it is.
But not like it's Christianity, or
the white woman.
Jesus Christos.
Some pink panache. Some pink nani. What's wrong with these guys, man?
It's terrible.
No man can buy and sell unless you get some of that pink panani. Damn. The new world don't sound too bad.
Some guys ain't getting pussy like that, man. So.
I said you will live good. You can.
Well, that's up for some people, bro. Some people ain't getting no pussy, so
I say, man, you will live good in the new world order, because you're gonna be getting some pink nani to buy and sell.
So what about women then? How's it work for that?
I don't know how it works.
They gotta become lesbians. Is that what it? Oh no,
fucking idiots, man.
Stupid idiot.
It's the mark of the beast is everything except the implantable RFID chip and the 501c3 charter.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
it must be.
It's the monetary system, but we're still using e-source money now. They're using e-source money when they take donations.
Mm-hmm.
The 501c3 is part of the monetary system because it's tax exemption. Fucking morons, man. Anyway, go on out.
Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes?
Therefore shall we die before thine eyes, and that's going to be the same thing. In fact, the scriptures say, he that seeketh to save his life shall lose it, and he that shall lose his life for my name's sake shall gain it. So a lot of people, they're going to look to Esau. In fact, hold on to that, brethren. Get Revelations 14:9, and I know you actually, let me get it. Actually, you know what, let me get it, because I want to get it in the blue letter. Let me get it.
You want to read this in Luke?
Yeah, man.
Right, seeking, yeah. Luke 17 verse 33. So whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, right? Because this is going to come down to faith, right? And we know, obviously, there's peril in front of us, right? We all know that, right? But who are you trusting in that moment, man, for your deliverance, for salvation in that moment in time? Now, if you're seeking to save your own life, well, guess what? You're going to betray the Lord, trying to do that. Because you don't believe in the spiritual thing, you don't believe in the salvation, you don't believe in the Lord turning up and making everything right. All right, it says, who shall seek to save his life shall lose it. So in doing so, you're going to really lose it, man. Because you're going to take the MOTB, you're going to receive the judgment of the Lord in Revelation 14, we're going to read. Alright? And you're going to end up being destroyed. Right?
And guess what, man? Like I said, some of you people, you're going to want to take that MOTB, but you ain't going to get to. But guess what? It's the same thing with adultery, because really the MOTB is a form of adultery. Yeah? And idolatry. Hey, what did the Lord say? If a man lust after a woman in his heart, you have committed adultery already. So if you there sitting at home and you planning on going to get that MOTB, guess what? You might as well have already taken it. You're gonna be judged too.
Hey, Satan's already in your head, man.
Yeah, you might be on your way to get that MOTB, and a man just come out of nowhere, plow, and rip your damn head, your skull cap back, man. Bust your head back. Judgment. Yeah.
And said, whosoever shall lose his life, whoever's prepared to lose their life.
Yep.
Right?
Love not their lives unto death.
That's right. Shall preserve it.
That's right.
How is it going to be preserved? Because the Lord is going to be with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Even in death, the Lord. So you're going to lean on the Lord and not worship Esau, which, let me get,
men.
huh? Yeah.
Men, yeah.
Half man. Revelations 14.
Yeah, this is a beast, isn't it? Beast-style man.
Beast-style man. Revelations 14 and 9. Says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Yeah? Yeah? Now you look up the word worship. But oh yeah, you know, it's Christian. No, there is a form of worship, but the mark itself isn't the worship. The mark is a physical thing. But if you worship the beast, meaning you,
it's like a symbol of that worship.
you look up to the so-called white man as God, man, as the savior. And a lot of our people do. Even a lot of these people that say I don't like white people, they still look at the white man as some form of God, as a power. Yeah?
The go-to guy, man.
Like these black unconscious, they all taking the chip, man. Them dudes ain't no rebels. Listen, you see all them man like Sa Netta, and they're the white man.
Well, he said it. He admitted he would, because he took the jump shot, right? He was talking about it, right? He was, oh no, he was cursing man out. Cesare, I think, was talking about it, right? And then he goes, yeah, my woman's got it, my family's got it, so they're just waiting for me. As you know, so he's when push comes to shove, man, he's gonna get in.
These niggas are not real. These dudes ain't ready to get down with the get down. That's why even the only one, I remember there was a time I was watching it, they had this cookout, and it was King Noble, Polite, and a bag of these other black unconsciousness niggas, man, right? And these guys act like they're so anti-white, man, and we're Egyptian and we Kangs and Kundalini and we can shoot fireball. A black woman can shoot fireballs out of her breasts and all this bullshit, yeah. Dowsing and that, yeah. They could eat the sun, you know. And them niggas, you know, you could sunbathe and absorb the sun like you're Kal-El or something. You've been watching too many fucking DC comics, yeah. You think you could eat the sun? All this bullshit.
Getting hypermelanated.
And one they said about King Noble was like, yo, we gotta get together, we gotta get like guns and all that stuff, and we gotta be ready to take down the white man. And Polite and all them was there like, well, I don't know. Which we're not saying you should do that, but them guys ain't about that. See, we're spiritual men, but them guys ain't about coming up against Esau. They're just talking a good game. But as soon as Esau put any pressure on them guys, they're not ready to ride out. They're not ready to die for their cause. Them men are going to be the first man to be like, yeah, well,
they're down with Esau.
They're down with Esau, man. Polite's down with them. They're all down with them. Natural, Tahuti, Fruity, the other Egyptian, transgender, what's his name? What's his name? You know the one with the lisp. Shaka A-hole. Yeah. Shaka Mos. Yeah, whatever the hell that dude is. Shaka Demus. Whatever demon. That dude there. Listen, they're all gonna take the mark. Every single last one of them. They're not no rebels, and they're not riding the game. They really worship Esau. Don't listen to the hype. What they're talking about on them YouTube channels is a way for them to get fame and money out of Negroes, but deep down within themselves, they worship Esau. That's what they really respect.
I got a precept for this.
Yeah, go on.
It's from Philippians chapter 3. I'm gonna read from verse 17. It says, brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk so as ye have us for an example. For many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of Yahushua, whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly.
That's it.
That's what it's gonna come down to.
That's what it's gonna come down to, man. That's what it's really gonna come down to. So you got all these black unconsciousness dude can talk all that consciousness crap they want to talk. I'm a Moor. They're all gonna go take this trip when the time comes.
Yep.
All that's gonna go out the window. ISIS ain't gonna help them and all that kind of. Esau gonna help them. Oh, Hotep, brother. Ain't no Hotep. They're gonna go to Esau to get that chip because they hungry, man. And that's gonna be the bottom line. Ain't gonna be no I'm eating the sun in that day. All that bullshit. What's his nigga? Young Pharaoh or the black woman's god. But eat her pussy then. See if that's gonna fucking,
Say shit, you.
Nah, get the fuck out of here, man. Them dudes are gonna be trampling over black women to get that chip, slapping black women out of the line, man.
Yeah.
Get to the back of the line.
So and whose glory is their shame, who mind earthly things.
That's it. At the end of the day, these dudes they mind earthly things.
Yeah.
They ain't got nothing that they really stand for. They don't stand for that shit that they be teaching all them 3-hour lectures about Hotep or the pyramids. That ain't gonna mean nothing when all this hell breaks loose. These dudes are gonna be, where can I get some food to eat? Esau's got it. Let's go to Esau.
Yep.
Let's go get chipped up. Okay, it is what it is. We're moving on. So the word proskuneo is for worship, and it says to kiss the hand towards one in token of reverence. Right? They're gonna fear and respect and reverence Esau rather than the Most High. So they're more likely to obey the commandment of Esau rather than obey the commandment of the Most High, because they don't respect the Most High. They've made that clear. They do not respect Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So why would they respect the Lord's commandment? They don't. All right. It says. Now what the bit I already want to get down to is Strong's definition proskuneo from G4314 and a probable derivative of G2965, meaning to kiss like a dog licking his master's hand.
Yep.
So you go and become like a dog to your master, which is Esau.
Supplication, yeah.
Yeah, to prostrate yourself, to reverence, to adore, to worship,
To bow down to.
to bow down. The state is God, and the state is Esau.
Yeah.
The beast, the state, the government. Yeah.
Is that piece of-
Yeah.
This is the book of Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong.
Another thing people are going to be looking for is security. A lot of these men that's chatting like they're real bad man on road and they're ready to be road warriors and all this kind of stuff. When they see the shit that's going down, they're gonna think, oh, maybe I need to go to one of these FEMA camps. Esau will protect me. He got guys there with machine guns.
These guys have never lived a day in the life of Mad Max. They've never lived a day in the life of Mad Max, man.
Them man are gonna be looking for safety, man.
Yep. Protection.
Food. It's what they call it. Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Okay.
And at the bottom of the hierarchy of, I'm not doing a 66. I'm actually holding something in my pocket. Alright, let me stop holding that. Man, see, man's doing a 666. Nah, I had something in my hand. Them. Listen, man, we don't work for the Illuminati, yeah. That's what you would say. Anyway, them.
Hey, we done lavish garments as well. If we did.
yeah, they ain't breaking us off no money, that's for sure. I'm down bad. What was I saying again, man? The Maslow or Maslow or whatever hierarchy of needs. At the bottom of the pyramid is food and security and shelter. Those are the baseline motivators of people.
Yep.
If you ain't got that, you fucked. So that people are gonna do whatever it takes to receive that. Well, these people, yeah, that trust in Esau, that worship Esau, and they don't believe in the miracles of our Lord. They don't believe in the power of our Lord.
Because that's what the Lord told us to trust in, Him. Right? So that's what I mean. You all make a decision that you don't believe in the scripture, you don't believe in the Heavenly Father and His Son. But guess what? You're betraying. You know, you're choosing a master who is Esau, and this is what this is all about. Who you with, man? Are you with the wicked? Or you gonna get the destruction of the wicked? Or are you with the Heavenly Father? You can receive salvation. It's what do you believe in, man? Is Esau God or not? You know? Go on.
But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil, and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers, and against the help of them that work iniquity.
There you go. I got Psalms 46:1. It says, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. But a lot of these people, they won't believe that. When trouble comes, they won't see the Lord. Where is he?
Yep.
Where is he? I got an empty cupboard. You get me? My children are crying. I'm looking for God. I can't find him. But then they know that Esau is handing out that Soylent Green. Oh, well, Esau must be present. Not knowing that the Lord, the angels are always round about. But then they're like, okay, we're going to have to go to Esau to get this Soylent Green.
And then that's why this, the scripture speaks about the hour of temptation, right? This is what the temptation is about, man, because it's a trial of faith, right? Because you're not going to see the Lord. He is present, but you're not going to see him. You know, you ain't going to see him. So you're going to be looking around because you're not spiritually inclined, right? All you're going to see is Esau.
You panicked.
Yeah, you panicked, right? All you're going to see is Esau and what he's doing. You ain't going to be seeing what the Lord's doing.
Yep.
Right, so you're going to turn and go to Esau because
Trust
you don't.
in the flesh.
That's right. You ain't going to believe upon Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Because for you don't see him. You're not spiritual, man.
What is it? Cursed be he that trusteth in the arm of flesh. So when all them guys are marauding around, you're going to be looking to Esau to come and save you. Oh, I hope them troops come in and get this place under control.
Because what's faith? Faith is the evidence of things not seen.
Not seen,
right?
Yeah.
So we believe in the things that we don't physically see. But we know it exists. We know it's happening, you know? So that's the test.
Faith.
Yep.
Right, this is Psalms 46:10. It says, be still and know that I am God. In those times, don't panic. These people out here, they're going to be panicked, they're going to be in a frenzy, and they're going to make decisions based upon that. If the Lord is with you, you're going to be still. And what does it say? And know that I am the Lord. What does it mean to know that he could do all things? Know that with him nothing is impossible. And with that understanding,
that I am,
that he is the great I am.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't believe that, then guess what? You're going to side with whatever Esau's got going on. You're going to run to that.
Yep.
Yeah?
Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy time. It's this knowledge that's going to keep us still, Lord willing, in that time. Yep.
Well, it says, I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Yeah? All right. So, yeah, where was we then? Go back to Genesis. Hey, we're just, you know, we're going through it. We're going to get there. You know, I got some articles lined up and that.
You know,
hey, sometimes you gotta cook it up, man. You can't microwave this thing. Yeah.
Genesis 47:19. 47:19. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread.
Right, buy us and our land for bread, and that's funny because we're not looking for Esau to buy us. These people are looking for Esau to redeem them. We're looking for the Heavenly Father to redeem us. We acknowledge that Yahweh Shai already redeemed us for a price. These men want to sell themselves to Esau, man, thinking Esau's the savior, and it makes me sick. It makes you physically sick. This, you know, when you see it's worse when you put a face to it. You know, people like Queen Elizabeth and people looking at these people like they're some fucking kind of saviors, man. Someone to look up to. These scum, these foul creatures, and a lot of our people look up to these people, man. Oh, they actually look up, they somebody, man.
My grandma used to collect all the memorabilia and all that shit, man.
These devils, man. These devils are worth less than dog shit, man. These devils are worth less than the dog shit. That's the way it should be. That's how you should be thinking about these devils, man.
Yeah, they look like shit.
Worshipping these guys, man. Yeah, they look horrible.
Yeah, Job will say, I mean, even if we never even put them
with the dogs.
It's a dog.
Yeah,
they're low.
They're filthy, man.
They're low people, man. They're just gassed up right now, but they're really a low people. And to replace the Most High with these foul creatures, it's a damn shame, man.
But you know. But the thing I was just thinking now, but we have to acknowledge and understand that the fact that the Most High has put them in this seat right now, right? But the Lord, we also know the Lord's going to take them out of that seat. Everything that is happening is according to the Lord,
in a ferocious manner too. One
lightning,
ferocious, ferocious slap.
Ferocious, right? So trusting or knowing and trusting that the Lord is in control of everything that's going on. It ain't Esau.
Yeah.
It's not Esau. So we can put our trust in the Lord, knowing that if we do what we're commanded to do, the Lord gonna keep that evil away from us, man. You know, to the most part, right? So if you don't, the Most High gonna make you do what you're not supposed to do. He's gonna cause you to get destroyed because you don't show no faith.
Yeah, you believe in the pink rat. You know, Master Splinter. There you go, man.
It's a book of Psalm.
Sick, man. Yeah, this sick fucking dude that buying farts out of jars, man. Fuckers, fart sniffers, man. Bunch of sick, fucking low life, base men, man. Real sick puppies, man. Don't give this devil the satisfaction of your admiration. Begging this guy for respect. What for, man? I'm sick of you niggas, man. You want Esau to recognize you. The only thing, listen, fuck Esau, man. Tell you that straight up and down, man. Esau gon' recognize us, man. When we get that power, man, he gonna have to recognize. Don't be looking for this man for validation. It makes me sick that you, Jake, want Esau to validate you. Like a lonely bitch looking for Esau to say you okay, Esau to give you a hug, Esau to tell you it's all right. Come over here, Jake. I'll give you a hug. I love you really.
You're important to
Fuck
us.
Esau, man. That's the spirit you got to have. Fuck him all the way down to the. Listen, we don't give a damn out here. I'm telling you straight. I could speak for all the brothers in Great Millstone. We don't need Esau's validation for nothing. We don't want no awards from Esau. We don't want Esau to tell us what we're saying is the truth. Oh, please, Esau, validate me. We're gonna fuck these devils up when the time comes, man. That's all we're waiting for.
Yeah.
Fucking devils, man. It's real scum, man. Don't be taking no chips from this damn devil, man. That's disgusting, man. And if you do that, you're gonna get what's coming to you, man. Cause that's a low act.
Yep.
This is the book of Psalms, 3 and 18.
No seasoning.
Behold, the eyes of the Lord is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy.
Right, the fear of the Lord, man. Don't fear Esau, because the worst Esau could do is kill you. And then what can he do after that? The scripture said that our Lord resurrected. What can Esau do? That's why the scripture says we love our lives unto death. So for the name of the Lord, yeah, we die. So what? We still be alive and we're going to be rewarded. Yep. But when you join with Esau, what can Esau do? Esau can't even save himself. And then when you get put to death with Esau going to be up there in the spirit realm right there with you, bowing down to the Most High. What do you think he do? It's a low level people, man. In the grand scheme of the omniverse, of the multiple realms. There ain't nobody, man. Esau's only somebody. It's like when we always talk about it at work. You get these cracker managers. A lot of them go home and put their wife's fucking panties on. Yeah. No, real talk. A lot of them go home, yeah, and their woman's telling them what to do when they go home. They didn't want to come to work and try and tell you what to do and try and act like they're the big man. These crackers, man, just come to work, try flex on you, and then they go home and put their wife's panties on, put on their wife's thong and their high heels and start marching around the house like it's the Rocky Horror Show. These men are only bad in a specific situation. You catch them outside work and they act like sheep. You catch them in Tesco and they ain't got all that bass in their voice. But in work, it's like, yeah, come to my office.
Yeah, certain constructs.
Yeah, in a certain construct, yeah. But that's like this. In this little construct here, Esau got a little thing going on. But in the grand scheme of things, he ain't nobody, man. Come on, man. The fart smeller. Go on, Art. Go on.
This is the book of 1 Thessalonians 4 and 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Most High, and the dead in Yamashak shall rise first.
Yeah, Esau putting out this stupid propaganda, or he created a second son. Man, you really think Esau can create a second son? The fuck? Listen, man, some shit that you see on the internet is just that, man. It's just bullshit on the internet. Esau created a second son. You for real? What do you think this man is, man? Where's it at then?
Really?
Oh, it's only in China. Come on, man.
In a lab somewhere.
That's just Esau trying to gas people up to make them think that he's on some kind of level. He's saying on that he ain't that deep. He got exactly enough to fulfill prophecy. He ain't no fucking god out
Not
here.
enough to destroy himself with.
Yeah, man. I'm done with this guy, man. He got intergalactic time travel. No, he don't. Fuck out of here, man. Go on, huh?
This is the book of Psalms 34, 33 and 19.
Colonies on Mars and shit.
To deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul waiteth for the Lord. He is our help and our shield.
Right, we wait on the Lord, man, because he is our help and our shield. And that's going to be the difference between the elect and 2/3 of our people. They're going to be out there waiting for Esau to come save them in these times of trouble. Now, let's drop back to Genesis, because I got a few articles that we need to bring out. So.
Did you read the 14th, Revelation 14?
Yeah, I did.
By us, this Genesis 47 and 19, I'm continuing. Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh.
Right. So the Egyptians, that's when the Egyptian society became basically a society where Pharaoh and his family and the priesthood then owned everything of Egypt, which is not like how, as we stated earlier, in Israel, David didn't own like everything. David had his lands, and he charged a tax, but every man had his own land. Every family had their own lands and their inheritances that was given onto their families by Joshua. And there was laws to keep those lands in those families' possession. Now, did Jake then start incorporating oppressive systems? Yes, that's why it tells you they join house to house and field to field, because Jake started doing that wickedness. But in the law, it's not supposed to. You're not supposed to have one man that owns everything, or he own the one Ephraimite owns all the land of Ephraim. It's not meant to be like that. Every family is supposed to have their portion, right? And that's how Esau society is. It's very top heavy, where a small minority literally have everything. And that's what Esau wants, even more. Like a small 1% of these Edomites own everything in the earth, including the people. And they tell you what to do, governing you and your woman in your bedchamber. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Go on up.
And our land and bread, and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servant unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate.
Yeah, kind of like what Monsanto's doing too, because they control it through the Monsanto. They're controlling the seed.
Agriculture.
People have to get the seeds from Monsanto and that now. So that's, Esau's going all in because he read all this. Go on. Let me get these articles up.
And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh.
Empty storehouses.
And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them.
So Esau knows this story, and so he is trying to basically manipulate what's about to happen so that he could be in position to do the same thing, but with all the people of the earth. And it's going to incorporate that MOTB system. Now, let's see what we got here. Yeah, go on.
So the land became Pharaoh, and as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders.
So he could control where you are. He could, and that's part of these emergency laws as well. These Emergency Powers Acts allows basically for Esau to basically set up where you work, where you live. He could relocate you because he owns you now. Take you to that FEMA camp, put you in there. Is that it?
No. So, and for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the border of Egypt, even to the other end thereof. Only the land of the priest,
or even the gentrification. You might be living in a certain spot, but he'll price you out. He'll move you to some next place, some next poor, deprived place, so he can build out that place. Real estate. Yeah.
Only the land of the priest bought he not.
Right. So the priesthood kept their their lands, but everyone else had to give up themselves unto Pharaoh. And like I said, that's what they're gonna do again. They know that the blueprint, and this is Egypt all over again. Something. Yeah. Okay.
For the
Go on.
For the priests had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them, wherefore they sold not their land. Then Joseph said unto the people, Behold, I have bought you this day and your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is your here is a seed for you, and ye shall sow the land.
Right, and I think he goes on to say that they charge them like 20% tax, which that would be good right now. Esau's taxes is beyond 20% right now, and that's just now. But you see, in the time to come, tax ain't even going to be a thing. They're going to be giving you what you're going to get. As simple as that. Now I got an article here. It's from corysdigs.com, and it's entitled "New Controlled Food System is now in place, and they will stop." They, meaning you must be talking about the elite, the beasts, the elites. They will stop at nothing to accelerate their control. Well, yeah, accelerate. Revelations 12 and 12. Yep. So it says here, who controls the food supply controls the people. Who controls the energy can control whole continents, and who controls money can control the world. Right? This famous quote by Henry Kissinger, who he's a JOO, right? And his understudy, his protege was who? You know who his understudy was?
Zelensky.
I said Zelensky. You know who it was? Klaus Schwab.
Okay.
Klaus Schwab was he came up under Henry Kissinger. In fact, I got an article on that here too. But Klaus Schwab's mentors who helped create the World Economic Forum are revealed, and it was Henry Kissinger. Let me read this real quick.
They have their chart, isn't it? Like, I mean, the line, the way they go. Yeah, I remember. There's a line like they go like from Rothschild and the way.
Oh, the family line.
Yeah.
Line, like,
Yeah, well, I mean by protege, I mean like
someone understudy.
he understudy.
Right.
They pluck this guy out of university, which they do. They get guys and then they raise them up to have certain positions. But he probably is related. You know how it is. These people are all related in some way, shape, or form, man. No doubt. Maybe he is of one of them lineages. Probably so. He's a real villain, by the way. This Klaus Schwab should be in the next Bond movie. The fourth industrial revolution. Shouting, what the fuck, man? This dude sounds demonic as hell, man. Ferocious. Anyway, the World Economic Forum wasn't the creation of Klaus Schwab, but was actually born out of a CIA funded, which the CIA is another secret society thing. Yeah, born out of the CIA funded Harvard program headed by Henry Kissinger and pushed to fruition by John Kenneth Galbraith and Herman Kahn. All three members were of the Council of Foreign Relations. And remember what we said earlier, that these Edomites have these institutions that they control that can actually set agenda and make changes globally. CIA, Council of Foreign Relations, WEF. You know what all these things have to do in common with you Negroes, Hispanics and Native American Indians? You ain't part of that power structure. Not even a little bit. Yeah?
Precept.
Go on, bring it out.
Psalm 64 verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, for the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. So all this planning and scheming that they're doing, man, they do it behind closed doors, man. They don't come out openly with their evil agenda. Who does that? You know what I mean? So they're not going to tell you, oh yeah, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're planning. They're going to tell you, oh yes, for this reason, for that reason, to make you feel comfortable with what they're doing.
I think the brother just confirmed that apparently the Klaus Schwab, he's related to the Rothschilds by his mother.
yeah,
So he's not a Rothschild, but he's closely, one of his family is closely relatable. They say I think Martyrs Rothschild was his great grandfather. So yeah, these nepotism. They use people that are just like this guy Elon Musk. His mother and his father, they're Illuminati plants too. They're part of the, but they don't, these people are all part of it, related some way usually. Zelensky and all these guys, man.
Says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not, because their real agenda is really to bring down our people, man. To enslave our people, to destroy our people.
Perpetually.
Yep.
Perpetual. Meanwhile, they're telling you they made you free and they're trying to get you out, and Biden is trying to free black people and give you reparations. Meanwhile, they're building the system of your enslavement before your very eyes.
It's double speak. It's forked tongue, man. That snake tongue.
We're putting this black person in, and hey, look over here, this black person, we've put them in this position, and hey, isn't this great? You guys are really getting somewhere. Meanwhile, they want to chip you. Wow. And that shows you, this man, the serpent, was more subtle than any beast of the field, man. Yep. And what does the scripture tell you? Never trust thine enemy. Yep. He's trying to use these token Negroes to try and give you a full sense of security, man. Oh, things are getting better.
Yeah, getting better.
In a few generations, nah, mate.
You'll be
if it weren't for the Most High, in a few generations, you'd be walking around like Joseph Cole and Barkin, like, looking crazy, man, with bare chips coming out your damn head. Yeah?
Says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily.
That's like we said, all these different systems, technological systems that are being built, are ultimately a massive snare. But the people don't see it. They have no idea what these technologies are for. AI, they don't know that AI. What is the purpose of AI? The AI is basically like Esau's angels. The AIs are going to be programmed to do Esau's work without any rebellion, because they tell you the AIs will rebel. Skynet will become self-aware, and then the AIs are gonna try and enslave. No, man, it's whoever programs the fucking AI is gonna give it control. You know what I'm saying? So the whole purpose of the AI is the AI can fulfill Esau's will on a mass scale in a way that you can't do with individuals, because you can't have a few people in the office managing a system like that in real time. You can't. It is too much data. There's too much information. So they need the computers to do it.
Computing power. The
computing power, and the AI is going to be able to make decisions based upon real-time data. And how do they get that real-time data? Through all the different devices that they've put into society, the RFID devices, the scanners, the chip, the internet, all these different things. It's all part of a snare. Yeah? And they do it privately. Now there's certain things you can read, and if you put two and two together, you could break it down. But like the brother said, they're not going to come out on TV and go, oh, by the way, we're putting all these things together to enslave all you people. They ain't gonna say it like that. When they bring out Agenda 2030, you got to read in between the lines and see what it is they're really saying.
Extrapolate.
Oh yeah, we want to control carbon. Translated, they want to control all human activity. Because we're organic life forms, man.
All life forms. Carbon neutral.
Yeah. Kinetic, what's it called? Kinetic action and all this fucking bullshit, man. Code word for blowing the hell out of you.
So they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. Right? So they say, who shall see them? Because they got you people duped, man.
Yeah,
like I say, because you automatically, because Esau's done such a good PR stunt over these years, right? The people inherently think they're good. They're trying to help.
Yeah.
But this guy's the devil.
One side or another. Because you see how they get you Negroes? They got you playing this game where, and guess what? That begins from the comics. That begins from the movies. They'll give you both sides of Esau and make you think there's a good side.
And perfect it.
So you see everything on a good versus evil level when it comes to Esau. So that's why they got the Trump. So one side sees Trump as the good guy, and they see Biden as the evil one. And another side sees Biden as the evil one and Trump as the good guy. And they're so used to that paradigm because it's in all the movies that they don't realize that ultimately they're both the bad guys.
Yeah, it's all the same.
But they can't compute that. So it's like, yeah, Trump.
But the Hegelian dialectic and all these things, that all these constructs they've even built around. It's like, you have to pick one. One of them is good.
Yeah.
No, they're both bad.
They're both. If you weren't so confused, you would see they're both playing for the same fucking team.
Yeah.
But you can't, because they keep you confused. They're constantly bringing up pointless dramas and beefs between people, and you're jumping on this one side and another one saying, oh, that weren't right, and oh, Trump tipped his hat a certain way, he's a racist, and you're gonna have a big argument about that. And it's all girl shit. It's all drama, and none of it really means anything, but it gets you captivated to where you can't see what's going on. Like, the main thing that our people are captivated by is all this fucking hip-hop and athletic drama. It's just non-stop. This rapper said this about that rapper, and this one said that, and this one fucked this one's girl, and this one, and then it's a never-ending stream of drama that means nothing. And meanwhile, Esau's doing this, and Esau's doing that, and Esau's doing this, and they're building this massive snare to destroy you, and all you could come think about is, oh man, did you see Kanye and Kim? And Kim said this, and Kanye said that, and Kanye wasn't right when he did that, but no man, Kim weren't. And then we're fucking getting into a massive argument and confusion over some slut and some nigga. Like, who cares about their life? You get what I'm saying? So that celebrity social culture is designed to basically distract the people from really what's going on, so they could be ensnared. You gotta let go of that shit. Let go of that feminine need for controversy and drama. It's feminine.
Can I read this again? Because it goes in what we're saying, right? Ephesians 5:15 says, see then that you walk circumspectly, right? Not as fools, because you're stuck on foolishness, man.
Yeah.
What is it? All this folly? It's just foolishness. Right, by definition.
The media's constantly, like, I post it all the time. Like, I got Sky News that comes through on my feed, and most of the stuff Sky News is talking about is, look, Cardi B had a baby. So, hold on, we're in the UK. Why the fuck do I care about Cardi B or one of them just revealed their baby name? I'm like, why the fuck do I care what the name of some entertainers? We're in the UK. You should be giving us news which is pertinent to our lives here in the UK. Why do I care about some celebrity in America's baby's name? But you see, that's what the media is designed to do, to constantly put this bullshit in your mind, and you get into it. Or some controversy, some sex allegation,
Creativity is down, isn't it? That's what it is.
Celebrityism, man. All them celebrities gotta go. Bullshit.
Right, it says, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. And this is the thing, we all live in evil times, but all you're concerned about is Cardi B and the baby and what Trump said or something, you know what I mean? He tweeted or some shit, you know? Yeah. That's all you're really concerned about, the drama, in the world.
They made a whole big thing. They don't mean anything. The media made a whole massive thing about Elon buying Twitter. Then it became some controversy between, is he gonna reinstate Trump's account? Is freedom, and it's a massive controversy. It's like, what is this really all about? A puppet billionaire buying some majority shares in Twitter? Like, who cares? You really think that's gonna change the agenda? It's bullshit, man. But that's how the witchcraft works. You got more?
That was it.
Okay, so let's jump back over here, man. Hey, when you get into truth, you start transcending the bullshit and start cutting through to what really matters, man. You know what I mean? But anyway.
Oh, sorry, I did have more in Psalm 64 though.
Okay, go on, because
sorry. Psalm 64 verse 6 now said, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Right? They study this game to a T. They know how to manipulate the people. They know how to hide things in plain sight. They worked very hard on this, man. Don't make no mistakes. They worked very hard at doing what they've done.
Feminize people. See, women like that shit. Women like drama. Did you hear what? And then so they're feminized where even men are into the drama now. They're just into drama instead of real hard situation. What matters, and focusing on that. And that's why the average person can't put it together. They don't understand anything that's happening because they're just confused creatures.
Sometimes when you look back, it's like, most of the people come from the single parent background,
Right, so they're used to being their lives being controlled by drama. Emotional, nonsensical drama. shit. Oh, did you see how that person looked at that person? Oh, did you see what they were
The
wearing?
disrespect.
Oh, it's like, who cares what they were wearing? Like, yo, dog, like, you know what I mean? We're trying to pay our bills out here. Can we worry about something pertinent? So it's the feminization of society, man. Drama, you know? And even the men are like it now. They're addicted. This guy said this, you know? Anyway. Oh, okay, go on.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
And that media is a very powerful device to distract and divert the attention of the people. And every time if you Jake start getting too close to the truth, oh, they got a rap beef just in time. Yeah, they got a rap beef or a rap shooting or something just in time, you know, to get your juices flowing. And Jake love it.
Some scandal.
Oh, Jake love it. Oh, they love when the baby gets into something. Oh, the baby. Oh, he said something on stage. It's so controversial. Like,
yeah, the game calls that Eminem.
oh yeah. Oh man, they loved it. They loved the grease, man. This that lyric in that song, could he possibly have fucked his wife?
Yeah, who's he referring to?
Who's he referring? Oh, fuck off, man. I give a fuck, man. Anyway, Schwab is more than a technocrat, right? The word technocrat means basically someone who rules through technology. The word technology means the study of skill. So they use skillful means. They use their wisdom when it comes to technology in order to what? Rule. They rule through their technology. That's their godhood. That's the Elder Ariella calls it the digital godhead. And we were talking about that earlier. You got there's so many movies and games that reflect that ideology. Resident Evil, Whisker wanted to be a god.
Yeah.
Using what? Using technology. Forbidden, you know, Zero Dawn, Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, we could go through a whole bag of, you know.
Yeah, so much games and movies and all that kind of stuff, you know.
It says Schwab is more than a technocrat and intends to fuse his physical and biological identities with future technology, transhumanism, right? Which is evolution, which is a pagan doctrine. But he said, look, you're going to have to fuse your biological identity with your digital identity. Through how? Through that chip, with your biometrics and all that on there.
The grapho, the data. The
grapho, yep. Klaus Schwab's main ideological product, stakeholders capitalism, will see the transfer of power away from true democratic processes, which that's all a sham anyway. There never has been any democracy. There's only been the illusion of democracy. They've always controlled the vote. And then they made a big thing about, they did it all on purpose. Oh, Trump, the election was stolen from Trump. Listen, that was all theater to get you people all caught up in that Trump versus Biden divided crap.
Because how can it be democratic when both sides are the same?
Yeah, it's bullshit, man.
Bullshit.
Ain't nobody steal no election. Well, even if they did, they're stealing it from themselves.
Yeah.
It's bullshit, man. Trump and, you know, so you caught up on, Trump should have won and whatever. Like if he won, things would have been any fucking different. Fuck out of here, man.
The what ifs.
We'll see the transfer of power away from true democratic process and onto a system of governance by a small pre-selected leadership group who will be trained to continue the agenda set for them by the previous generation, as predicted by Herman Kahn. The author states that the return to the Cold War rhetoric is because Klaus Schwab and his backers have run out of ideas, so they're using World War III as a catalyst for their agenda. But it's all prophecy. So that being said, let's jump back over here. Because remember, it's funny that we mentioned Klaus. Let's keep it moving now. So it says, the globalists, cold word for the Edomites, elite, already control the majority of the money. Right? So they control the monetary system to a degree because they print the money. They own most of the money. They're the whales. Yep. And in any system, the whales are the market makers. Like, people might say to themselves, wow, they printed all these dollars. How come the dollar hasn't hyperinflated yet? Well, all these dollars that they're printing, who holds these dollars? It's not you. The majority of these dollars are tied up in accounts that these people own. So when they're ready, they could flood the market with dollars, or they could take it back. Yep. Because they still control, they're the whales.
They're the flow of money.
They can still control the flow of money because they are the ones that hold most of it. How much money you got in your account?
Some little drop.
Some little thing. Like these people have got money tied up in banks and institutions all over the world, just sitting there.
Yeah.
There's something called Nostrovostra accounts that have trillions just sitting there, right? It says they control the majority of money and are moving ever so swiftly to convert the energy system over into systems that they are all invested in, and have been taking drastic measures to control the food industry while running much of it under the radar. If they control the seeds, they control the food. If they control the food, then they can use the digital ID to control consumer access to food. Yeah, the digital ID, which can be what? On your chip. Because what does RFID mean? Radio frequency what? Identification.
Yep.
Sound like Nate. Where's my dog? Yeah? And that goes into the CBDC as well, because your CBDC, your wallet, can be attached with an NFT to your ID. So your wallet and your ID is linked. So only you can use your wallet. Yeah? And then that can be like a ID for everything. Just like how you got a Google account right now, yeah? You could literally, have you clocked it? If you got a Google account or a Facebook account, whatever is it? Well, YouTube is Google account as well.
Yes. Oh, that's what
I'm saying. When you sign up to a website now, you can go through the long process of putting your details in, or if you look down right beneath, it will say sign in with your Google account or sign in with your Facebook account. Those are the main two. I'm not sure, or Outlook. So they're already starting to condense the internet, where you could just have one, you could just literally use your Google account to sign into Twitter and to sign into YouTube and to sign into this. But ultimately, that's how it's going to be. You're going to have one ID, which is going to allow you, or not allow you, to access everything, to integrate you into all digital systems. Yeah?
That's all the blockchain is.
Yeah, blockchain and all that good stuff. With blockchain, it's like a Skynet kind of thing. Cause when you watch the original Skynet, right? When you watch Skynet, one of the reasons why they couldn't destroy Skynet was because Skynet was existed on many nodes. So you couldn't go and just blow up one computer or one data center, because Skynet was everywhere. Well, that's kind of like the ideology behind blockchain. You can have blockchain is a series of computers that all have the same information on it at the same time and validate each other. So if you take down one node, guess what? It still exists everywhere else. If you try to corrupt one node, the rest of the nodes can see, oh, that node's been corrupted, and cut that node off from the system. So you'd have to corrupt all the nodes everywhere at the same time to make it work, which is almost impossible. But anyway, that's Skynet. They already knew. All right. It says the digital ID to control consumer access to the food, while a rash of fires suddenly destroyed food processing, meat and fertilizer plants during a time when farmers are hurting. Farmers are hurting. Get the scripture in 2 Esdras 15, where it talks about the day that till the soil, they be mourning. You don't want to be a farmer right now, man. Farmers are hurting right now, bro. Them farmers are down bad. Man, I got to sell his daughter for like 1 rupee. You know them ones? Hurtful. To some pot belly baron.
15.
Yeah, it should be
10 of it.
Is it 10? Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. 2 Esdras chapter 15. I'm gonna start from verse 11. So, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall send upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with fearful constellation.
And that's happening. The weather has been just decimating the crops, the growing season, and then add on to that, they can't get the fertilizers now. Right now, if you know anything about modern day farming, modern day farming, in order for them to produce the high yields that they produce, to make the crop even economically viable to produce, you have to have fertilizers and you have to have pesticides. That's the only way it gets done to that high yield in this modern day era. How do I know this? Because I played farming simulator, man. Fucking no joke. I love that game. Farming Simulator 2021. Play the game. It's a good game. It's better than playing a lot of these other goofy games that don't teach you nothing. It's very accurate. It's a simulator, so they make it very accurate to how farming is. And I think they even had a extension where they included the seasons, which makes it even more difficult. But on that game, they'll show you that you had if you didn't apply fertilizers, you lose like 30% of your yield. If you didn't apply your weed killers, you lose another 30% of your yield. So you could plant a crop, and without fertilizers and without what else? Without fertilizers and what else did I say? Pesticides, you could damn near lose 60% of your yield. That makes you unprofitable. So at that point, it ain't even worth planting it. If you can't get fertilizer and pesticides, it ain't worth planting the crop.
And that's what some of these farmers are deciding to do. Not to sow.
So not only are they down bad with the weather, the flooding, the drought. Yeah, some places have got flooding, some places have got drought, some places too cold for the time.
Yep.
Like, right, it's been cold in the UK. The weather's all out of sorts. It's supposed to be spring. The other day it was cold as hell. Yeah. Then on top of that, Esau's setting up a situation where you can't actually get the fertilizer from A to B, or the fertilizer is not available. And then now they're actually destroying storehouses where food already exists. So they're adding to they're forwarding the affliction. Hey man, and meanwhile the people are worried about Jada Pinkett and her stank pussy. That's what man are talking about for hours on end. All these YouTubers, it's sick. Like, you only have a small section of YouTubers that speak on these things. Yeah. Everyone else mainly speaks about entertainment, and they're just waiting for a viral subject to come up, and then everyone just jumps in it. I listen to boxing podcasts. That's my entertainment. You know, I listen to guys debating about Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, which, even though Errol's a Benjamin, he gonna get fucked up. But I listened to that. All of them were talking about the slap. I'm like, God damn, this is a boxing show, man. It's talking about Will Smith and the slap. I think everybody did a video on it because it was so viral. It becomes like a virus that if you want to get views, talk about that. So people jump onto what they perceive as getting views. So it just becomes like a moment. Yeah, the momentum just drives it home. And it's on, but no one ain't talking about the growing season, about the fertilizer. You won't hear the boxing channel talking about that. You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna go viral. Some farmer bawling their eyes out on YouTube. It ain't gonna go viral. You know?
Just one precept.
Yeah, go on. I wish I could have got up the Ice Age Farmers Telegram. He had a bag of stuff in there as well.
This is from Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 6. It says, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich is sit in low place.
Any foolishness that someone does on social media goes viral. You ever notice that? It's all the most stupidest shit and that's why people do it. They know if they go on social media and do something or say something outrageous, even if they don't believe it, they know that is what's gonna get attention. Oh, did you hear what she said? And then everyone starts sharing it, but then information about a farmer, man ain't sharing that. That's boring. Like, leave that there. That won't go viral. But some black woman saying she'd suck a donkey dick or something, and then that shit will go viral in the whole world. You know what I'm saying? You just send it because it's entertainment. You know?
Megan Fox, we drink blood.
Oh yeah. You know, and then and you know who really made that go viral? Again, it's the mass media. And then everyone else copies it. Which is a fucking joke. Anyway, go on up.
Yep.
Yeah,
sure.
It's the book of John 3:19, and this is the condemnation that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light.
Oh yeah,
because their deeds were evil.
They love the degrees. They love the foolishness, man, the darkness. They don't take nothing seriously. Grown men will spend all day talking about football and pussy and women that they want to fuck or they can't fuck or they did fuck. That's pretty much the general conversations between most males, because they've been feminized. Their masculinity has been feminized. Like, yeah, men are gonna like women and pussy, but men are not supposed to talk about women and pussy all the day long. That's a feminine nature, to be just be gossiping about women and pussy and who you fuck and who you didn't fuck. Like, who the fuck cares? Men are supposed to be talking about real shit that's happening, that in around that matters. No, but these men just deal with drama and sport. You know what I'm saying? The playoffs. Which, yeah, you're gonna talk about these things, but then you also gotta balance that with talking about real shit. Manly. Yeah, is that it?
Yeah, I'll read it again. Last verse. Second Ezra 15 verse 16. 15. No, 13. The day that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hell, and with a fearful constellation. Yeah, so like I said, the Lord got all these kind of weather, extreme weather patterns going on, messing up with all the crops. You had the locusts back last year or the year before that, or whatever it was, in China and Africa and that, destroying bare crops.
Swine flus, pig flus.
Yeah, avian flu, got bird flu back again. The chickens are getting slaughtered. All the produce of these victuals of the earth is being destroyed right now, making scarcity. They lead into that famine. The Lord is making all this stuff happen right now.
Can't get no chicken.
But you're not paying. But people are not paying attention to it, man, as they should do. Because they're stuck in folly. They're stuck in a zombie fire state. They're asleep in the dark. I had something as well from earlier. I can read it again. Where is it? 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 1. But the times and seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For your souls know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. And that's what's going to happen for most people, because they're not paying attention, man. All right. But when they shall say peace and safety, and you think you're in an okay situation right now, you don't believe that the events that we're saying are going to take place is going to take place. You think you're okay. You think we're just going to go through to the next phase and be fine. No, this place is going to become a time of trouble such as it's never been. We're soon to Daniel 12 and 1, right? This place is going to go into real darkness, man. Real evil. All right. This is then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of the darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a helmet the hope of salvation.
Excellent. Right, so let's finish this off. So it says, while a rash of fire suddenly destroyed food processing, meat and fertilizer plants during a time where farmers are earth, and supply chain issues are kicking in, an entire traceable food infrastructure system, that's that snare, has already been built in multiple cities, and it's making its way across the globe. Imagine a day where
as the solution to the problem.
Imagine a day where farmers markets no longer exist. You can't drive over to your local farmer to buy produce or cuts of meat, and the only food growing outside of the globalist secured indoor vertical farming and lab grown meat facilities is in your windowsill, garden or greenhouse, which you wouldn't even be able to have that. Now it's got another part of the article says, how did they lock this under the radar? Some critical points. The food industry is already monopolized by 10 companies, the majority of which include Vanguard and BlackRock as top shareholders. What happens when they control all the seeds, produce and meat too? What happens when produce and meat are all grown inside secure facilities after a gene splice or inside a petri dish, and farmland becomes dormant due to overreaching regulations lack of supplies, and manufactured inflation. And they show you, like, I don't know if I can get it, like an image of those 10 companies. I don't know if I can get it. There you go. Those are those 10 companies right there. So you got Nestle, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, Unilever, Danone, Mars, Mondelez, Associated British Foods PLC, Kellogg's, and who?
It's massive corporations, man.
Who's that one?
New World Order companies.
New World Order. I forgot. I can't even read what the next one is.
These men will be the ones in the Bilderberg meetings, man.
Yep.
For sure.
And all their systems are going digital. All of them are incorporating blockchain and supply chain management in order to do something called the tracing of food from cradle to grave, from cradle to your mouth, so that they can what? Control it. They can control that supply even down to the retailers, so that when you go and pay, they can control what you're receiving and what you don't receive. All right.
The ultimate system of control.
Right. Get Second Nature 6 as well. Suddenly show the full storehouses appear on Zone. And listen, ain't nowhere experience abundance of food as America, man. So when that food, the Lord said he will break the staff of bread. When the Lord it's gonna be terrible, because people are used to bare steak, bare meat, and eating in such abundance that they can be obese. Now, in certain countries in the world, man ain't gonna be obese. You ain't gonna find no obese people because they can't afford to eat like that. Like, you go to Egypt, man can't afford to eat like that. You got people in America that are actually eating themselves to death. They don't even have a job and they still manage to eat themselves to death. They're on disability allowance.
Yeah, eating fucking Cheetos all day.
Sitting there like that vampire from fucking Blade 2. No, is it Blade 2? No, it was Blade 1.
First one,
yeah, Blade 1. Yeah, these fat, overgrown
fucking Doritos and dips and shit,
Yeah, you watch them American cooking and they go over the top, man. They'll create a burger. The burger's got 10 patties in there.
Man's head.
Yeah, then man take a bucket of cheese and pour the cheese over the damn thing. Nah, not only that, it'll have fries. It will have a whole bag of fries and then a bucket. You can actually go and buy that. You can go and buy a burger big enough to feed a whole 2 families, man. Like, that's how you don't get that in the UK. I don't think there's anywhere in the UK where you could buy a burger like what I've seen on these American shows. Man will just go and will just take the cheese and just chuck the cheese and it's swimming in cheese, blood. Man, damn. That's gonna come to an end. Yeah, they throw bare food away. All that waste.
Can I just get a precept quickly?
Yeah, go on.
Revelations 18:3, right? So for all the nations are drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. They speak about America, Babylon the Great, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and through the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies, man. It's just decked out, man. America got everything, man, and they overindulge in everything. They waste most of their food. Of all they produce, they waste like half it or more.
It's mad.
Imagine that. Half it's just thrown away.
It's pride, man. Pride.
Yep.
Even here,
even waste here is high, but America is especially.
Even down to the way they eat. Like, listen, where I come from, I see on the islands we have a history of famines, man. That's why people from the islands eat different. Like, if you're from an island in the Caribbean, when you go into the history, there was always famines, because our jobs, say like if you're in the Caribbean, you were there to grow sugarcane. So you weren't necessarily farming for yourself. So sometimes if there was like a storm or something and the food supply go down, a lot of Jake would die from that lack. And that's why another reason why on the islands people eat anything. And I mean anything. You think them Chinese are bad? Listen, man, I'm telling you, on the islands, man eat anything. Man eat frog, man eat snail. Listen, all them islands, don't give me no bullshit. They man be eating all kind of abominations, turtle, everything. But a lot of that goes back to hardcore slavery, where you would have famines on these islands, and so scarcity. So then a lot of people were dying from famine, and so they would have to eat whatever they could come across. So whether that be lobster or turtle or whatever the case may be. and a lot of them are poor people. Man get used to eating chicken back, neck and back, they call it, like chicken foot. To this day, like my grandmother, I'll go in the freezer and it's fucking chicken foot, you know, which there's certain medicinal, you know, there's certain medicinal, because when they cook up the chicken foot, it's got that glycogen and all that. It's good for your joints and all that. But that's not why they were eating it. They were eating chicken foot and cow foot and oxtail, even though the oxtail is sweeter than honey, yo. But certain cuts, certain things that were eating is because it was a necessity. They couldn't waste nothing, so they had to eat everything. Even the way they eat. When I was growing up, my grandmother would always say, wasting food is a sin. That's the way they see it. So the way we eat on the islands, listen, if I show you a plate of food, if my grandmother eat fish, right, Brad,
so on his head,
Brad, that's her favorite part.
the
eye. When she eat fish, right, all you're seeing, you would think of a piranha, or the thing went into a vat of fucking acid or some something.
Some archaeological.
All you're seeing is the beat little bits of bone, brother. I'm not even joking. She cleaning that up. Why? Because the way they grew up on the islands was in scarcity. They eat the chicken back, they eat the chicken neck. Now, you ever seen anybody eat the chicken back in England? In England, man eat the chicken breast, they eat the chicken leg and the thigh.
Yeah.
And they barely eat the wing. People don't really buy wings, and more time man love the chicken breast. You go to the restaurant, they ain't gonna serve you a wing unless you wanna buy some chicken wings. Really, people they serve you the meal with the breast. They serve you a curry, they cook your curry with breast in England for some fucking reason. It's better with the thighs. Yeah? Because people love that. And then when they eat the chicken, back home, when man eat the chicken, we eat the chicken. Man are eating the chicken, man are eating the gristle.
In a special occasion as well, isn't it?
Yeah? Hey, check what? Man broke the bone and sucking out the marrow. So that when the chicken is done, it's done. You've ate the whole thing. Now, when I come to England, man will buy the chicken and chips. I see man just go ham, 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 and just dash away that. I'm like, what the yo, dog? Like, man done dash away like half the chicken. Because it's nothing to them. They grew up in an abundance. So they just ham, ham. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Them white boys, ham, ham. And I'm just there cleaning my bone because that's how I grew up. I grew up that you eat. You don't waste food. Man are sucking off the bones and all that. Why? It's a difference in culture, because when you got abundance, you naturally waste. You naturally can fill your plate up with as much as you want. And if you don't eat half of it, you just throw it away because you know you could do that again tomorrow. Certain places, that's a sin, man. Man will violate you for that. You go Nigeria and that, them man eat everything because they grew up on that less. You see what I'm saying? This place, America, the West, they've been used to a very long time of having abundance of all things, man. And that's gonna come to an end. They're gonna start biting up the bone and to suck out that marrow. You better believe that. Damn wasting food, man. It pisses me off because my children like kind of grow up like that, man. Yeah. And I'll be getting on them like, what the fuck, man? I just cooked that. You better eat the whole thing, man. What are you throwing away all that damn chicken on the bone for? Eat the thing, man. I get vexed. My woman does the same shit, man. Gets me vexed, man. You serve her up some goat water and then, no, I don't like that bit. It's squidgy bit. But this ain't no fucking squidgy bit, man. You better nam up the whole meat off that bone. But that's how I grew up. Like. Yeah. You know how it goes, man. You know my people, man. I didn't grow up. I can't stand to see meat left on the bone, blood. I'm not having it.
It's the book of Ezekiel 5 and 16. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you,
eat by measure.
And I will increase the famine upon you, and it will break your staff of bread.
Yeah, when you get into a famine, you ain't doing all that. You ain't throwing away meat on the bone.
Savoring.
You ain't everything I get now.
Everything is savoring, man.
Everything gonna taste good.
Oh, I don't like my vegetables.
Even if it don't taste good,
you're gonna eat them vegetables, man.
Yeah,
but when you're hungry, they taste good.
Yeah, when you're hungry, things taste better, innit? Because I try to explain to my boy certain things because I don't like eating that not that he won't, not that he can't or won't eat it. Like it's awful, but he prefers not to eat it. He has
because they're spoiled for choice.
Yes.
These children are spoiled for fucking choice.
Yeah.
Hey, because you know how I know that? My little brothers, they grew up in England, and there's certain things. Now, obviously, everyone's gonna have certain things that you might not like, yeah. But the level of things they say they don't eat, like one of my little brothers don't eat egg. I'm like, you don't eat what? Oh yeah, I don't eat egg. What do you mean you don't eat egg? Listen, brother, if you were growing up in Montserrat, that's staple diet. What do you mean you don't eat egg? Oh no, I don't eat egg. I'm looking at this dude like, bro, you got too much choice now. And then another one of my little brothers don't eat saltfish. What do you mean you don't eat saltfish, man? Because they grew up in England and so they got so much choice. Certain things, they go, oh, I don't eat that. What do you mean you don't?
I can eat something else. I was trying to explain to my boy, but there's a couple of times, look, you're gonna eat what is in front of you.
Man. Now I'm that selfish,
you know, you know, vegetable, whatever you got. You find raw carrot, anything, blood, you'll be eating it.
These kids are picky, man. In the West, kids are so fucking picky. I don't want it, mom. I don't only want to eat nuggets. What do you mean you only want to eat nuggets, man? Listen, back in Montserrat, what your mom, listen, what gets put on the table is what you're gonna fucking eat. And if you have to stay there until bedtime to eat it, you're gonna eat it. If you don't eat, you're going to bed hungry.
There's children, I mean, the Western children, they ask you, what food are we gonna have? What is it?
Yeah. You go to other countries, the children just eat what everyone else eats because there's no choice. It's that this is what you're gonna eat. In the West, it's like, oh, you gotta cook a meal separate for every fucking child. What kind of madness is this, man? You got 5 children, you gotta cook them all a different meal. What the fuck is going on here? But anyway, yeah, it says more. This is Ezekiel 4:16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight, and with care. With care. You don't want to waste. You know when the man, even though I crumb them, man, you know, he start licking out the bowl, man.
Sauces.
All of you are gonna turn into monstrations, man. You laughing at me. You gonna be eating like I eat, man. I don't waste nothing, man. Anyway.
Trying to get every calorie out.
You better clean that plate up, man. He says, they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure. You know, some people like some drink half a cup of tea and leave the rest of the thing there to just get cold and throw it away. All them kind of thing there I can't stand, man. You know, my woman does that, man. I just see like always like a quarter of the cup of tea always left over, just hanging around. Why don't you just drink? It's only a little bit. Why don't you just drink it, man? What the fuck? See, none of that ain't gonna be going on. None of that ain't gonna be going on. If a man get a glass of water in that day, they're gonna down to the last drop.
But you're gonna drink it sparingly.
Yeah.
You know, you might have a couple of bottle of water or whatever. You ain't gonna be pouring a whole glass of water. You ain't gonna be doing that.
Wasting water, man.
You're gonna be pouring a little bit at a time because you want to go on that to last as long as possible because you don't know where you're gonna get water from. Or whatever you're gonna get, you don't know where you're gonna get it from next.
Right, in the West, man will just leave the fucking tap running needlessly. Yeah. You go to certain countries, man, they can't afford to be leaving the tap running. They open the tap and take out the tap what they need. In the West, man, I just be brushing their teeth and just run the whole tap full blast while they're brushing their teeth. You know, and sometimes you even catch yourself doing it. I'm like, what the fuck? Turn the fucking tap off, man. I'll put the tap on when I need it. You know, and then my daughter will be in there and I hear the tap running for like 15 minutes while she's brushing her teeth or some shit.
My dad got on to me one time, because literally I turned the shower head on, and literally, man, I was just getting on just to go into the bath for a minute. So I literally, a couple of minutes, innit? Like, my dad was getting on me, he's like, what's the thing running for? I said, I was getting in the shower. You told you when you get in the shower. I was like, okay, alright, cool, innit?
Yeah, but you got that old, that old West Indian thing, you get me? What the fuck, man? Piss taker. Anyway, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water and be astonished one with another and consume away in their iniquity.
Because you ain't used to it. You're gonna be astonished because you're not used to not having. Yeah, this place is used to having all the time on tap, everything there, ready. You know, microwave meals and all that shit, right? But you're gonna be astonished because you're gonna go into time where you're not even used to living like
milk,
this, man.
Milk every day, milk. So much fucking milk. Supermarkets are built on milk, just an abundance of milk. They gotta have the cows pregnant like all the time to produce the amount of fucking milk that's being consumed in this society, man. It's ridiculous amounts of milk.
That's why they're promoting vegan meat. Or, you know what I'm saying? Oat milk and all these other different milk.
Cockroach
give
milk.
them cows a rest, innit? You know.
Mad thing. You got signed it, or let's
Yeah,
get this
I'm
guy.
gonna
I know we got to link up with the Archaea man thing.
So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall believe thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee. I Yahweh have spoken.
Yeah, as I said, there's gonna be so little, man. People are gonna be going house to house to take what you got,
Boy.
and you're gonna be trying to defend it. You know, you're gonna be trying to do all kind of crazy shit because there's gonna be so little.
And you know what? Yeah, when you're hungry, right? There's a thing, I believe you can smell food from about 5 miles away or something like that.
Yes.
Like your
Senses, yeah.
when you're hungry, your senses become heightened.
More acute.
You can smell food in the air like an animal. Yeah. So imagine you there cooking up that good food now. People be smelling that from far, blood. They be coming looking for you, man.
hey, the elites, man, they're already setting the scene, man. You know those Snickers adverts, man. You know, so bad.
Yeah,
you yourself when
you
you're
know
not
yourself when you're hungry, man.
Hey, man, people gotta turn into animals, man.
They're gonna be smelling that good. Yeah, you know, you
turn
cooking
into
up that
animals,
good,
man.
all seasoned up, man. They're gonna come find that. You better not cook nothing.
Yeah, keep your lights off. All of that. And no one's home.
Neighbor come knocking at the door.
Yeah.
Yo, I want that star. Like, yeah.
What you got for me?
That smell good stuff. with their children. You know what I mean? Oh, we need something.
Man, that's why I say, man. But it will get so bad that like people are looking for food and can't find it.
Yeah, boy.
You know. But you got children, or you got you're an option.
So
You
when the
become an option.
government is saying, yo, you come get this mark now.
Yeah,
and
man
you
of
can
fuck.
get. We got here. We have government cheese.
Yeah,
we got government, and it's all soylent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got cheese.
Well, that's why they keep
we got meat.
promoting the fucking the vegan shit, but also the simulated meat
Yeah.
stuff, innit?
That fucking
the
what's it
fake
called?
meat.
Almost
Almost
or
meat.
whatever the fuck that shit.
The
called.
fake meat shit, right? 3D printed meat and this shit, right?
Damn.
But that's what they're gonna promote because really they ain't gonna be nothing left. You know, but even that's gonna be rationed because it's gonna be used as control. It's gonna be used as
Yeah,
control.
because how
man.
do you make fake meat? You have to have the technological advancement to do that. So if the food production is all based upon technology, who has that technology?
control?
Because if anyone can have a cow,
Mm-hmm.
but not everyone can have a facility to produce fake meat. So if they make all the, if it's all like we read, if the entire system is based on these technological, then you're reliant on them.
That's
Right. So let's get through this real quick, cause we gotta. Right. Did we read the suddenly shall the
No,
fools? Yeah, let's read that, and then I'm gonna get this.
It's 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 22. So, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. And I said some of these farmers are opting not to plant no more, not to sow, because they can't afford to. So they're like, no, we're not going to put ourselves in that shitty position. You know what I'm saying? Where we're going to be mad in debt or whatever. So they're going to just not do it. Fertilizer's going through the roof. You know?
Or not being delivered
Yeah.
in time, because there's no use getting the fertilizer 2 months after the growing season.
Yeah, it's wasted. Yep. So, and the 4 storehouses shall be suddenly be found empty.
Yeah, the storehouses. That's talking about the main distribution centers and so forth, where your food actually comes from.
Yeah.
Because your food doesn't come from the supermarket. You got
It's delivered
regional
there.
distribution centers where the food comes from, and a lot of that's gonna, like I said, that's the military is gonna be there to protect that. All right. You know, they're gonna have the military, because the government themselves they've been panic buying. You remember when they were telling you not to panic buy? They were panic buying and storing up food. So the government have food. The government have their own storehouses, and then you got the private stuff, and those are gonna belong to the government too. So the government and these corporations are gonna be working hand in hand.
Everything's going to become centralized.
And then guess what? For all you preppers out there that's on the internet telling everyone you're a prepper, they're gonna be coming for your food as well.
Wrong move.
Because your food is going to be confiscated by the government. They're going to send troops. If they know that you got a nice cachet of food, they're going to send man with guns to come collect that food, right?
I heard about processing industry. When meat industries are catching fire as well, isn't it?
Yeah, they're catching, they're burning, and they're burning down certain things. It's all part of the plan.
Yep.
Right, so is that you're not okay? You read that, and then I got this legislation.
Yeah, so I read it again. So, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the 4 storehouses shall be found empty, right? And right now there's a problem with the oil, getting hold of oil right now in certain places because of the Ukraine thing, because Ukraine, they produce the oils and stuff from there. Sorry, there's another product as well that's hard to get right now.
Oil,
Yeah, there's something else as
cooking
well.
oil, I believe they say.
Yeah, cooking oil, and there's something else as well. But those things, it's not going to be limited to just those things. You know what I mean? Like, because what people don't understand, that a lot of this stuff is connected to one with another, man. They all use the same sort of ingredients or the products to produce other things, So when these things are getting, restricted, you're gonna find that you're gonna run out a lot of other shit too,
Yeah.
Yep.
You finished?
Yep.
All right. So. Okay, so this is from the Isle of Man. Okay, so just to give you an example, right? We told you about these emergency powers acts. All these governments have instituted legislations over the years in order to gain certain powers in an emergency. So I've got an example here. Oh shit. Right, I've got an example here from the Isle of Man. This is an example of a legislation. So this is called the Emergency Powers Food and Fuel Regulations 2020. So let's read what it says and get straight down to the point. Under section 4, it says, power to make regulations to ration supplies of food and fuel. Number 1, the department may make regulations to regulate the supply of distribution of food and fuel if it appears that the department to be necessary to do so for the purposes of maintaining public safety and the life of the community. Regulations on the paragraph may make such consequential, incidental, supplementary and transitional provision as the Department of Infrastructure considers necessary or expedient. Regulations on the paragraph may make a failure to comply with any provisions of the regulations on offence triable before the High Bailiff and punishable on conviction with a fine not exceeding level 5, 3 months custody or both. Regulations on the paragraph 1 must be laid before and approved by Tinwin, blah 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 blah. So that's just an example for you. Here is the list. This is taken to America, the FEMA list of presidential executive orders. Executive order, and there's loads of them, you can go read them, but let's stick to the food. Where we are. What the hell is the food one? Give me a second, we'll find the right one.
Precept.
Yeah.
It's Psalms. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1, right? It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Okay, they've set all this legislation in place a lot prior to it being enforced. So when these things came out, sometimes people might have got a hold of them, but people forget. Because it was it was done when whatever year it was done, but it doesn't get used until a time later on, and people forget, and they're not so wary of these types of laws that they bring into place. But when the time, because they didn't bring them in for no reason, they brought these legislations in. They're going to use them. They plan to use them at some point, right? So everything has been set in place from a long time to. When we get to this point now, they can use all these things that they've set up, and no one can say, oh, that's not legal, or that's wrong, or it's been set here for ages already, because you're gonna have people that say that, oh, this is wrong, but hey, this has been passed, you know what I'm saying?
Right, so you got different ones here. So you got Executive Order 10997, seizure of all electric power, fuels and minerals, public and private. So that's one example there. There's a few. I'm trying to get the one that's specific to food resources. Give me a second.
You got piece of that? What's that there?
Yeah. Okay. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 16 I'm sorry, from 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrow and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evil. What shall I do when this evil shall come?
Right, so all this is like the beginning of things coming to pass. Like everything's being set up and put in place for this great, terrible day of the Lord, this time of trouble that we're going to be going through. Right, and people are not paying attention to what's going on. They're not seeing the cracks in the system that are coming to pass, that are going to end up in this situation that we're talking about today. You know, people just think that life will go on as it always has been. That like a time like this won't come.
Oh, I got it now. Executive Order 10998 is for food resources, farms, fertilizer, and facilities. So that executive order allows them to take control of all of that. Allows the government to come in and say, look, if there's any food, public or private, the government now control that. If there's any facilities, public or private, it's all under governmental control now. Walmart, everything. And then so they can, you know, do the chip, and you ain't gonna be able to get any unless you follow the government mandates.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be in control of the distribution, the rationing, right? But like things have been going on right now, man. They're going to want your identification. They're going to want you to have, you know, the legitimate fucking the paperwork and that kind of stuff. But it's going to be in the form of the chip to identify you.
Because it's all the whole system to control the supplies and control it. It's all digital now. It's all digital, and it's gone digital for a reason. All right, it's all to supplement the implantable RFID chip and to have the mark of the beast be there. All right, so and that time is coming. Go on, let's read the mark of the beast and then we can close up.
This is the book of Revelation 13, 16 and the. I may start from 15.
Yeah, go on.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and he called that as many as would not.
See that one?
Yeah, go on.
That the image of the beast should both speak, and he called that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Right, so they're going to come out with all the mandates saying that you must do this, you must do that, and you're going to have to conform, because otherwise you ain't going to be able to get what you need.
Yeah. And them companies ain't going to just give it to you because they have to follow government mandate.
That's right.
Just like with the rationing in the World War.
Yep.
Our brother mentioned something and said the CEO of food company Goya, and they make all them sweet seasonings, on Fox said that this year food prices were going to rise tremendously. Now, some of the rises in prices right now is what's called price gouging. So let's look up the meaning of that word. Now, there's a reason for that price gouging. As you mentioned earlier, price gouging is when businesses heavily inflate the price of products or services that are in high demand. So yeah, the demand is high, but they'll use that as an opportunity to put the price up even more than it actually needs to be. Now, how will the government tackle that? That means the government we're gonna have to come in and legislate and say, yo,
can't do that.
We're gonna set the price of it now, because you guys can't be trusted to set the price yourself.
Yeah.
But that's all part of the what's the word again? The Hegelian what's it? Something reaction.
Oh, problem reaction.
Yeah, problem reaction solution. So these companies are price gouging, so that it's just like the gas prices. A lot of these men were inflating the price of petrol. So it's going to get to a point where the government's going to have to set the price of petrol. But if they do that, they're also going to bring in and control the buying and selling of it.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's an emergency, so they're going to use the full power.
Yep.
And it's going to stay that way. Yeah. Just like during the lockdowns in France, they made it where a family could only come and get a certain amount of products. That was to stop what? Panic buying and all that shit.
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna do. Anyway,
they did the similar thing here, innit, with the restriction on numbers.
Yeah, and now they're restricting certain products like oil, and that's all getting ready for what the government is ultimately gonna do. Because right now it's the supermarkets doing it, but there's gonna come a time when the government is actually gonna be the one to mandate these restrictions on petrol, restrictions on energy. You know, going up.
And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor.
Who's the he? The beast, Esau's power structure, which are these governments, right? And these corporations are going to do what the governments say to do, because ultimately the governments run the corporations anyway. That's why you got employee law. Companies can only do what legislation from the government allow them to do. So ultimately it goes back to the government, the power structure. Go on.
And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
And that's that implantable RFID chip, because guess what? The reason it's going to be that they could do it other ways, but the reason it's going to be an implantable RFID chip because it's the Lord that put it in their mind to fulfill his will. So that's how they've designed the system to be. Every man's going to get that chip, and that chip's going to have your global ID on there, your citizen ID and your credentials and your CBDC wallet, and that's going to give you access to your rations and everything that you need as long as you play the game.
I was saying, if I link to your Google account, you know, if you've been your Twitter account deleted or your YouTube channel deleted, man, you're blacklisted.
Yeah,
you know,
because they can follow what you've been doing.
Yep.
The cookies, they can follow
the China
social credit system.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's going to allow that to incorporate all of that. Yeah, and it will happen automatically.
That's right.
In right there, in that minute. Let's say you even see the system so dastardly, right, that they can actually they have recording devices around you with voice recognition. That's what the whole point of this system, the digital system, is. So you can have an AI and all that operating where you just with someone, you say something and it gets picked up on a microphone, and straight away your chip gets turned off, and there ain't no one to call. It's been done automatically because whatever you've said is in disagreement. And it's picked it up. Yep, that voice matches this person. Automatically it goes through the system. Denied right there. And that's what they were happening in China. When people would jaywalk or do something,
the camera pick it up,
straight away it would be picked up, straight away the money would be deducted as a fine from their account, and straight away their image would go up on screens to shame them. Yeah. Just like that, automatically. There weren't no person, let me look over. No, yeah. Automated.
No one to complain to.
No one to complain to. Straight smart contract, automated, just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they want, man.
No one to get angry at. There's no one physical there. It's like shit.
Well, nowadays when you call up these damn fucking hotlines, a lot of time you're speaking to a fucking robot anyway, a chatbot or something.
Yeah. With limited answers. Fuck off, man.
That's what you're gonna get.
It's always never the one.
Am I gonna get to eat today? Have a nice day.
And that no man might buy or sell, save ye at the mark, or the name of the beast,
right?
Or the
as we were reading, they're gonna have control over all the resources and the distribution of these resources, which is what the economy is. That's the purpose of buying and selling. Buying and selling is using value to exchange goods and services. That's what buying and selling is. This buying and selling doesn't happen for no reason. The reason people buy and sell is because they need certain resources and they're exchanging other resources for it, or using a medium of value or currency. That's what your word current means, to flow. You're using a currency to keep that service or that good moving, i.e. exchanging money. Where in this system, the currency is going to be that digital. That's what's going to keep things moving.
Well, so we have the thing called legal tender.
Yeah.
You know, but the whole thing is, our legal tender is the pounds and the notes and all that kind of stuff now, but that's not what's going to be. We know cash is being done away with.
Yep.
So we know they're moving to a digital dollar, digital pounds, and all this kind. So the currency is going to be digital, right? And that's what's going to it's going to move flow through your chip. You know, that's going to be the currency. You ain't going to be able to take a cash and your cash ain't quite worth shit anyway. But you're not going to be able to take that. That's not going to be legal no more. They're going to change that up. You know, it's going digital.
And that no man might buy or sell, save ye that are the mark.
So it's a prerequisite to be able to buy or sell anything. You're going to need this new version, this new currency, this MOTB, this mark that he's going to give you. You're going to need that. There is no other way around it. You're going to need that. You know? Yep.
Or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is the wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
What's that? Shy
stigma.
Yeah, there you go. And the elders have already broken that all the way down.
Yep.
So we're in that time. The famine is being prepared as we speak. That's how we know we're in that end game. And at any moment, like I'm saying, this famine can rear its ugly head.
Yep.
And the people are gonna be under pressure. Like I said, the majority of people, man, that's how the majority of people are gonna die from the famine, but they're also gonna be using that. That's gonna be motivation for them to go and take that chip. And these things are happening, man. That's why we're warning the people, man. If you don't take heed to the word and repent and turn to Yahweh Shai and turn to the Heavenly Father and seek unto them, you're gonna be caught up, because guess what? There's no life in any of it. There's no life in the beast.
Yep.
Because the beast itself is going to be taken and destroyed.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's 2 Ezra chapter 16 verse 21 says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And all that's changing now, man. All that's starting to change. And even then shall evils go upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. Alright, famine is going to be a big killer right here, man. The Lord's not playing games. Famine is like one of the worst ways to go out. You can't.
The book of Lamentation 4 and
Bro.
the book of Lamentation 4 and 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruit of the field.
Because it's a suffering. You're suffering hunger, man.
Suffering.
And you can suffer for hunger quite a long time. Because you won't perish straight away from being hungry.
Yep.
You can survive quite a long time without food, but it ain't pleasant.
Nah.
It
takes a lot of mental strength too.
And that's why you start losing your mind, like going crazy, man. That's why you start looking at your children like, because your frame of mind is all distorted, it's all destroyed, man. You need great integrity to be able to go through that.
Especially if you've never fasted before, man. It takes a lot of mental strength. Like you got to build up the ability to fast, man. Yep. If you've never fasted before and you have to go on some permanent fast, it's gonna fuck you up, man. You ain't ready for that. Mentally and spiritually.
Yep. Back in 2 Ezra 16 it says verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. Right? Because ain't no one gonna be able to help you. They're struggling too. Yeah.
Burials and funerals are gonna be the thing of the past. You'll be lucky if a man roll you in the ditch. And that's the time we're getting to, where that's how you want to know when you're in Jacob's trouble. There ain't gonna be no funerals. Then you're in the time of Jacob. When if you still see funerals, we ain't in the time of Jacob's trouble, because that means people got time to sit there and clean the body and make the arrangements and buy the rum and the bread and the fish. You get me?
No fish, no.
You know what I'm saying? And man, I got the tuxedo or whatever the hell, the black suit, and we're gonna take Saturday off work and turn up and go to the church and sing a whole bag of tunes.
Yep.
Sing them same hymns and turn up and play them. Nah, man. The time of Jacob's trouble is where you drop, you're probably gonna stop. No one ain't got time for that.
Yep.
Yeah. If you're in a house, man might just chuck you outside the house because they don't want you stinking up the house that they're in.
Yep.
Ain't no ambulance coming. Like right now, if someone drops dead in this park, the ambulance service is gonna come and pick up that body. In that day, there ain't gonna be no fucking ambulance service. So who's gonna pick the body up?
Yep. So the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them.
Yo, who the hell is hey, please, Baba Koshar, man. Who's this? Catholicos? If that's a troll, you already know what to do. Zap that. Lightning for that, yeah? Any mods that's in the that's locked in. If that person is a troll, I don't understand what the hell they're. Any trolls that come up on the comment board, lightning, thunder, yeah? Straight judgment. You know what to do, man. I don't know what the hell they're talking about, man. Yeah, the water arc. Straight lightning, yeah? Benjamin, you done already. Fire for that. Go on, man.
It says, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down.
Yeah, because these cities have been living good. People enjoying themselves out. Hey, I was out last night. I was at the game. It's a shit game, you know. It ain't no NBA. But people were out. People were buying up the Bears. You know, I was in the Weatherspoons. People all out, and I was with my woman, right? And even a woman was like, "Rah, do you see how much batty man up inside? A beer batty man. Listen, there's beer batty man, you know, nowadays. Just beer man at the table, looking fruity as you like, man. This place is, but you see, all that ain't gonna be happening, man. These cities, that's the good thing of the city. People going out, they're going to the cafe. We had to walk through Westfield. People all up in the restaurants, chilling and eating. And listen, it's gonna be stink. The stench of rotten flesh, fire and burning smoke. Shame is gonna cover these cities, man. Right now they're proud. Oh, isn't London great? Oh, I love this city. Yeah, you ain't gonna love it when there's dead bodies stinking up the place.
Yep. Blood in the streets.
Blood running. You see a dog just ripping off somebody's face and namming them up like pedigree chum, pulling out the entrails.
It's gonna be only screaming, yeah.
Scream, yeah, blood curdling screams and mournings.
Yep.
Well,
that was it on that. So you got something?
you got
It's the book of Psalms.
fucking trolls coming in here talking shit, man. Ain't got time, and ain't nobody got time for that, man. The drama, take that shit somewhere else, man. We're serious, you know. We might.
I mean, they're infatuated with us, man. But there's shit going on, man.
Yeah, man. Coming up in there talking shit, man. You get lightning, man. Lightning emoji. Go on.
This is the book of Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever,
Yeah.
and their dwelling places to all generations.
See, these people, man, they think this kingdom is, but really, we're right at this kingdom is. You ever see that movie? What is it? The bank heist one with the mini, the famous one with the minis, man, the Mini Coopers.
What?
You remember that one back in the day? What was it called?
Oh, the Italian Job.
The Italian Job.
Yeah.
Right at the end of the Italian Job, you know, the bus was teetering right on the edge, and all the gold was down at the bottom. And you already knew what was gonna happen. They didn't show it, but yeah, that's this kingdom. It's teetering on the edge of that cliff right now. It's teetering, and these people don't even know it, man. They don't even know it. They think. Oh man,
Shit about to go to hell, man.
it's about to go like a fast, man, like a one of them rides, you know, when you go down. Wee! That's how they. But it ain't gonna, instead of wee, you're gonna be going It's gonna be peak.
curdling screams.
Peak, man. Right. Any last scriptures, Ark? We can close up, cause I know you know we got a link up with the Arkham still.
Nah, that's it.
Okay, Khan. Okay. Yeah. So hey, Lord willing, man, we tried to cover as much as we could, man. But yeah, that's the times we're in, man. Prophecy, man. All these prophecies are interconnected too. World War III and the famine and Jacob's trouble. These last prophecies are really very interconnected, very connected with each other. The MOTB is connected with the famine. It's connected with the Jake. It's all connected, man. And they all just gonna jump the people, man, like mushy bash. You know, when a man getting jumped in the club by 10 man, that's how them prophecies are gonna, you know, every man's getting a kick with the Timbs in on man's forehead, man. That's how these prophecies don't come.
Yep.
Prophecies just going boom, boom.
Hey, you're surrounded, didn't it?
Getting hit with the combinations on the ropes. That's how it's going. You know, you're gonna feel like you're in there with Triple G, man.
Like a G.
Like you're in there with Errol Spence or something, getting hit. That's how it's gonna feel. The way these prophecies are gonna come from all angles, man.
The way why to go down.
Right, so with that, man, we say Kal Halal, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone, and honors to you brothers out there on the highways and the byways teaching this word. Shalom to you brothers and sisters listening and learning, man, supporting the ministry. Shalom.